I just
going to be
pressed
live soon?
live now, yes.
Have you got a delay on your stream?
I actually don't. Should I?
No, I don't think people are going to stream cheat, though. It's possible, though I don't think so.
Well.
Oh my god, Cold Hunger. Holy shit. This is like premature finals already. If you don't know already, Cold Hunger is the guy who's been beating everyone in the game, and we don't know who it is. He's unknown. So we refer to him as the god.
The god. Okay.
Yeah.
The question is, has he fought Bikerish yet?
No, because Bike hasn't been on, but he's been beating some current high-level players like myself, One Vision, and others.
Right, right. So which game are we going into?
We're going into the one with Phoenix and Cyber. They're starting on Downtown Dust.
Alrighty.
Phoenix is asking where Sparty is. I don't think he quite understands yet that it's he's not here. Let me just fill him on that.
Yep, he just gets stuck with me.
Are these guys going to pick their spots, or are they just going to allow it to be randomly allocated?
Normally they have it random because they presume that it automatically fixes it, which it doesn't.
Well, it does on certain maps like Red Zone Rampage and Forgotten Forest for the most part, but you do get some games where they screw up. Though on this map it's not so bad because the spots are evenly spaced out from either player. So.
Yeah, but it's a pretty awkward match when you get top and bottom versus left and right. It almost always goes to doubles on one player.
Yeah, though I can see it working out either way. All right, so looks like we've got Phoenix picking Black Hand. I don't think there's any faction rules specifically in this tournament. I didn't really check to see what the rules were in place, but yeah, it looks like there's going to be none because everyone's going Black Hand. So, and he's going Cold Hunger going Steel Talons.
Yeah,
all right.
I like seeing the Steel Talons. It's actually a good choice in this situation, but on the map I don't know if it's the great option, because Steel Talons in a classic 2v2 like Forest is good stopping Reckoner Rushes or late game wise with artillery, but in a map like this where it almost never goes to tier 3, I don't know about that choice.
Yeah, the Wolverine's also very good versus infantry compared to APCs. Though I think he's picking Steel Talons for base pushing with his MCV into one of the Black Hand players. I feel that's what he's going to do. He's going to push with Titans and just mass Watchtower. I think that's his game plan here. But it's a 2v2, remember, so his the ally of Phoenix can actually help.
Yeah, but
yeah, it will depend where these players are going to be situated. So it looks like it's going to be an awkward first game. Side's not going to be great. So yeah, on the right-hand side we have Dimitri playing as the blue Black Hand. He's also known as Kappa in this game, but I'm just going to refer to him as Dimitri. And in the top we have Cold Hunger playing as Steel Talons. And over to the left, we can see playing as Cyan. We have Phoenix playing as Black Hand. In the bottom, finally, we have Cyberstorm, aka Smoking Tiberium, playing as the red Black Hand. So everyone in this game picking Black Hand besides Cold Hunger. And I'd imagine everyone's going for a Refinery first. But no, it's actually surprising how many players didn't go for a Refinery first, because there's no Tiberium spikes on this map. So there's no reason to really go for it, especially as Black Hand, where you can just go buggy first and scout the other player. Cabals in Black Hand mirrors generally not so good for scouting. We've got a few skirmishes already. Cold Hunger decided to go for a Rifle Squad, just single Rifle Squad. instead of going refinery first. He opted for that. Not necessarily sure if that was the right move right there. It looks like Cold Hunger is going to be next to Phoenix, and over to the right we have Dimitri, his ally, going to be just popping down his war factory. I assume that Dimitri was one of the only players who actually went refinery first on this map.
He was actually the only player who went refinery first that I saw.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got pit first for Cold Hunger, which is obviously what you should do. He needs to scout on this map, especially versus Black Hand, because of the kind of rushes that they can do. Phoenix is going to go for some bikes, but Cold Hunger is going to spot this. He's going to see these bikes coming a mile away, and I'd imagine he's just going to build some pits to stop those. We've got a beacon down in the bottom. Looks like, oh, did he forget his harvester? Did Smoking Tiberium forget that?
I believe he did. He only has 2 harvesters on the field as I can see. We got bikes engaging at the top right here on Kappa XD.
Oh.
Doesn't look like they might get a harvester to keep the pressure here, yeah.
No, I reckon he can just probably micro that around the war factory and he'll be just fine. It's very annoying trying to kill harvesters when they're being circled around a refinery. I mean a war factory. But yeah, looks like we've got a lot of units engaging here from multiple sides. Not sure who is who right now, but I think that Phoenix will probably take out this harvester of Dimitri. So
not sure if
that's going to be bad.
it.
As 2 harvesters go down, going to put Dimitri in a world of pain right now.
Yeah, this is the problem with Steel Towns. They don't really have much to support their ally in this type of situation. They're just too slow. Like, the watchtowers only do so much versus the bikes, and when the buggy's there, it hasn't really killed any bikes from that tower.
Well, he did get double teamed, but I guess as Black Hand, that doesn't necessarily matter because you have the ability to draft power plants and shredder turrets, which, you know, granted, they're not as good as they once were because of the nerf, but they're still going to be very good versus bikes compared to other factions' ability to draft stuff. Yeah, Dimitri lost 2 harvesters there. I'm not sure if that was really necessary, but I guess it was just a failure for on Cold Hunger's part, not scouting Phoenix and tracking his units. He should have informed his ally a lot sooner that those bikes were coming his way.
Yeah, definitely. I find it strange how let's see here. Smoking Tiberium hasn't actually opted to expand yet. He's just applying more pressure, trying to keep the Kappa out of this game.
Well, he didn't go to War Factory, which is surprising. He's quite behind, actually, when you think of it. He's not as far ahead as Phoenix. Phoenix already has an expansion down. He's also got a decent ratio of harvesters. He's going to receive some mild pressure by pits, but pits are not really the same as bikes. They're not going to achieve anything. Over to the right, we can see that Dimitri is just barely hanging on, getting out his second harvester, and it's basically a 1v2 right now because Dimitri looks like Dimitri is going to find his harvester in trouble right now. He's probably going to lose it. With
we are having a base push at the top left here, moving him to be closer, but I question this without more Titans pushing into this. He's going to need a lot more than that to compete with this Black Hand infantry coming out.
Yeah, this is what I suspected that Cold Hunger would do. That's the reason why he probably picked Black Hand, because, I mean, Steel Talons, because on this map the rush distance is really short and you can probably make the base push happen. Though Phoenix has the infantry upgrade on the way, and without AP ammo, Steel Talons is not going to stop mass infantry of Black Hand.
Yeah, exactly, which was regarding my point, as he needs a lot more Titans if he wants to make this work. However, the pile up of here, the rockets, oh no, actually no, the shredder turret will prevent any crushing. Over on the right, just Kappa XD calling the GGs if he's been kept out of this game the whole time. And I think what really threw this game is they didn't, if he would have had just one Titan on the right, he could have kept Kappa in this game, but he just let his ally do a 1v1 basically. And I think that really was what cost him.
That base push fell apart really. He didn't have AP ammo, nor would it matter because his ally Dimitri was out of it. It would have taken a miracle for Cold Hunger to do anything with this. He's going to get his war factory down, but again, no AP ammo versus now two barracks Black Hand infantry.
Yeah, and plus he has all these bikes in the back of his base now, so he's not going to have a follow-up to this.
No, that's true, and I think that's going to be GG. So Phoenix and Cyberstorm taking a quick 1-0 victory in this best of, I'm not sure if it's a best of 3 or best of 5. I'd imagine it's a best of 3.
I'm thinking it's a best of 3, however,
8.
I would like confirmation on that. Someone in the chat can check that up and let us know.
Yeah, I'm not actually following the chat right now, but that's going to be GG, and the double teaming from Phoenix and Cyberstorm quickly dispatching Dimitri in that game. They obviously identified Dimitri as the larger threat in that game, taking him out first.
Yeah, if you look at the resource graph, Cold Hunger was just just ahead of everyone this whole game, and it would have been enough to keep his ally to defend him, but there was the failure of teamwork on that part.
That's true, yeah. All right, well, I think it's loser picks now. I don't think the maps are determined, so I guess Dimitri and Cold Hunger can choose the map they wish to play next. They're going to probably pick Tiberian Forest unless I'm mistaken, and the maps are predetermined. I should really do some research.
I would, but oddly enough, my computer is just awful, and I can't tab out of my game while streaming or I'll crash.
Right, well, that's probably best not to. I'm actually running in windowed mode, so I can probably check, but I'm not going to bother. Alright, so Tiberian Forest is the map, which is basically a remake of Tiberium... what's the other map called? Forgotten Forest, that's it. Not sure who the author was of this map. I think it was... Was it Next Online, I think?
I believe so. I can't say for certain, though. What was really interesting about this map that I didn't really expect was that there is what is it called? A mutant hovel at the very bottom of the map, which a lot of players miss.
And at the top we have a EMP spike, if I recall correctly, as well.
Yes.
But I haven't really seen that come into effect in any game so far on this map.
I think the EMP could really be a game changer if players base push to that center field, but more move towards the upper part of it so they can defend the EMP more effectively. I feel that players feel it's just too vulnerable at the late game stages once you capture it.
I'm not sure what he's doing if he's deciding to pick another map. I guess everyone's comfort zone is Tiberian Forest and Forgotten Forest, so it's not exactly going to give Dimitri and Cold Hunger an advantage picking this map because everyone's already used to it. So I think Phoenix and Cyberstorm will be quite happy about this map choice.
Yeah, agreed. And I see that the Steel Talons and Black Hand is gone off the table, so I don't believe you could pick the same faction twice.
No, because it looks like Phoenix has gone to Nod this time. I suppose Nod has its advantages in the late game compared to Black Hand. I mean, they have the Stealth Redeemer and the Vertigo Bombers, which I guess can prove very useful versus GDI, which usually oppresses Black Hand with Mass Juggernaut. And Black Hand really struggle versus Mass Juggernauts, but those Vertigos from Phoenix might be able to help a lot in that case.
Yeah, arguably I think Nod has one of the strongest late game options. It's just a matter of getting there when your GDI is applying all that late game or early game pressure with Pitbulls and Preds.
Yeah, it looks like Phoenix crashed right there, so that's something that happens. I don't know why that bug exists where some players crash the next game they start unless they relog in. I really think that's kind of stupid. I've never had that issue personally, so...
Kappa XD actually used to have that problem as well. He actually had to... I think he had to reboot his whole system to fix it, which is very peculiar. So it's not really a Kane's Wrath bug. It's has something to do with the computers, I think. It's just a personal computer problem.
Yeah, I really don't know, honestly. I can't really tell you what it is or what it's caused by, but I know that many players do experience that. Alright, so yeah, going back to the matchup, we got Black Hand, Nod, and GDI. Cold Hunger picking GDI on this map, which is pretty good. I mean, a Juggernaut's again very good versus Black Hand. The Marv is obviously great for contesting Tiberium fields. It's actually the best epic in that regard if you're trying to win over a Tiberium field because it just sucks all the Tiberium up. And it's a massive tank that can actually reverse move, unlike any of the other epics. So it can actually shoot and move at the same time. Yeah,
especially in 2v2s as well. So it'll be very helpful, especially mixing that with a Redeemer. Having both is really... A lot of people miss that fact, like having 2 Marvs is not as useful as having a Redeemer and a Marv.
No. Yeah, looks like the game is going to begin. Looks like Phoenix decided to go for the top spot, which usually means that he's going to get the spikes, though that doesn't necessarily mean that all the time, but players often get 2 spikes if they choose the top position over the bottom. So let's see if that is the case or not. So on the left-hand side, we have Phoenix playing as the yellow nod and his ally just to the bottom of him. We have Cyberstorm playing as the red-black hand. And if we scroll over to the right-hand side, what's happening over there? Do you know?
Yeah, we have Cold Hunger as the blue GDI. And if sliding down to the bottom right as the blue nod, we have Kappa XD. And it looks like they're just drafting and taking the spikes as per usual on this map. Nothing crazy so far.
Yeah, and it's as I suspected. The top player did, in fact, grab both the spikes for both of these teams. We can see Cold Hunger went for both of them, and opposite we have Phoenix, who also went for both of them, which is quite peculiar because...
Okay. We just have a bit of lag there. That DC of Cold Hunger.
Yeah, well, that's quite actually off-putting. Okay, so the top players always grab the spikes on this map, though that doesn't necessarily always mean that, because the MCV of your ally also grants build and ground control to you as well, so you can actually build around your ally's MCV, if you didn't know that.
Yeah, exactly. I think it would be smarter to draft maybe 2 barracks to capture both of them faster. However, I don't know if that would be more cost effective, since you can get a ref down with that second barracks in terms of time.
Yeah, it looks like we have Cyberstorm going to go for that buggy first, despite being Black Hand, not going to put any rushes on to his opponent. And what's coming out for scouting for Dimitri's team right now? We have a buggy coming out for Dimitri and his ally Cold Hunger, just going to eco in this game despite taking the 2 spikes. But yeah, generally the nod players should scout on this map because they have the buggy, which is the far superior scouting unit, as it also can clean up Cabal squads and infantry scouts. But yeah, he's going to find that there's 3 harvesters out for Phoenix and also 3 for Cyberstorm, so he can assume there's no rush coming. What's happening
we have both
in the
players
meantime?
expanding right now, except for one's unpacking. Kappa XD here is placing down a power plant, while the Smoking Tiberium is choosing not to place a power plant and just moving on with this without powering up his refinery, which I question that decision.
Yeah, it is actually pretty more optimal for Cyberstorm. The 1 power plant expand is definitely going to allow his MCV to be expanded first. I can't tell you for sure whether or not 2 power plants or 1 power plant is better. I mean, despite how many games and experience I've got, I cannot answer that question. But I've seen Bike Crush choose to go for 1 power plant most of the time, so I guess that's probably the best way.
Yeah, well, Smoking Tiberium, he has 3 harvesters with full loads of tib that can't harvest.
Yeah,
that's just painful.
Yeah, they're all stacking up that that refinery. That's you should have fixed that ages ago. He's fixing it now. All right, so what's happening? No one's going for anything besides eco right now.
I do like the choice of putting the MCV in the middle of the 2 bottom fields here to add defense on the other side of the field, which a lot of players don't really take that into account in late game.
No, but he is Black Hand, so he can go for some infantry and scatter them across his Tiberium field. He has one of the best answers to light harassment units like bikes. I mean, Black Hand are basically going to be just fine versus mass bikes. Got 2 ore factory coming out for Dimitri right now. Looks like Dimitri's going to omit his refinery, instead going for 2 ore factory, possibly to contest the middle blue field. We have a miniature skirmish going on right here, and it looks like there's going to be bikes versus bikes of Dimitri. That 1 pitbull and buggy going to pretty much decide this engagement because of their tanking ability.
I do believe the pitbulls are going to prevail in this fight simply because the buggies are out of position for the other player.
Yeah, but these bikes are just so lightly armored. I mean, they need to support them with buggies or scorpion tanks even. I actually think that scorpion tanks would be the ideal choice for contesting this blue field. But no, more pits arriving into the mix of Cold Hunger. Cold Hunger doing a brilliant job supporting his ally here. and he's going to force back this harvester from Phoenix. Phoenix not going to get anything there really, and in the meantime we have Dimitri, who got a partial load of blue Tiberium. I reckon he could have stuck around there because he probably will win out here, but no, there is going to be more reinforcements for Phoenix and Cyberstorm. Cold Hunger may be forced to retreat here, though his pits are a lot better versus bikes than bikes are versus pits.
Yeah, surprisingly, both players are going for this dual war factory builds. If you look on both sides of the map, it's nearly mirrored. So it's a battle of micro right now for this blue field. As Cold Hunger, I think he learned from last game, he needs to support his allies more. So I think he's really stepping up to learning like each game.
Yeah, it looks like Cold Hunger, he's got 2 refineries down and spread them out very nicely as well. So he's pretty much secured versus one clicks. We have Cyberstorm and Phoenix who are not bothering to transition from Mass Bike Buggy. Actually, it looks like Cyberstorm going to go for Scorpion tanks now, but yeah, Bike Buggy won't just quite cut it versus this many pits, and these pits are gaining in numbers.
We have some bikes up top here and some major harassment, but I think the bikes will scare them off. Getting an awful engagement there for him.
Yeah, Dimitri losing out there. I don't think he killed any harvesters, did he? So yeah, he's just going to lose some bikes for nothing, really. And in the meantime, we have Dimitri, who is just continuing to spam out units. So they're not bothering the tech in this game. Neither one of these players has actually gone up to tier 2 yet.
These pit bulls are doing some major damage here at the bottom. However, I feel like the infantry is just going to cause them to fall back here because he knows that the bikes are going to come to support this. But he did quite a bit of damage. I think he got 1 harvester and a couple of bikes. But I'd still question the cost effectiveness of that. They're beaconing up top here, Kappa X Steve, to capture that EMP spike. So I think that will come into play this game.
Yeah, that's something that can definitely come into play the more the game goes on. There's infantry now being produced by Cyberstorm, and that's going to pretty much nullify the pit threat now in the bottom. These pits are going to be useless versus infantry unless he gets mortar upgrade, which he should probably prioritize that upgrade first if he gets his tier 3 up. Looks like Phoenix just circling around the map with these bike buggies. He's not entirely certain what he's going to do now. But yeah, it looks like in the top of the map we can see that... Actually, I thought that was going to be an engagement, but no, that's actually just Dimitri and Cold Hunger going to consolidate their forces and go in for a big attack in the top. I'm not sure if Phoenix has enough to stop it.
I don't think so. He's going to need his ally to drop some barracks up there or pull his Scorp tanks back, which he's doing now.
I reckon that was a mistake of Cold Hunger. He should have gone in and supported Dimitri. He just left Dimitri's army to fight for its own versus Phoenix. And he knew that there was infantry at the bottom, so I don't think that going for the bottom was a good idea of Cold Hunger's part anyway.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's shocking how... Oh, we have a Cold Hunger now, not forgetting about the blue tip, which is shocking that the Smoking Tiberium didn't take advantage of his map control and take that. So Cold Hunger is taking advantage of that.
It's going to be a one of the harvesters getting caught out of position there for Cold Hunger. Cold Hunger going to lose a harvester. He's going to go for a Marv now, so I think Cold Hunger is in a better position compared to anyone else in this game, simply due to that Reclamator hub. And once he gets that Marv out, he can just Marvest that whole Tiberium field, and that will be pretty much useless for Team Red and Yellow to really set up shop at that field. So yeah, the Marv is going to be quite an issue.
Yeah, I'm shocked that the left team hasn't teched up very much.
No, they haven't really teched up at all. It looks like in the top there, we can see Phoenix, who has the tech lab, possibly just to get tip core and also EMP cores for his bike buggy, since he's investing more or less entirely on bike buggy right now. But wow, Cold Hunger already has railguns for his Predator tank, so that's going to be spelling the death of all these bike buggies. But there is infantry in the fray for Cyberstorm, and infantry mixed in with bike buggy has some serious potential to do some major damage.
Yeah, and the infantry upgrade is just about to finish on top of that, so that's not any better news for Cold Hunger here. But he does have to watch out for one picks in the late game. I noticed him stepping over tip quite a lot. And the click just happened at the very bottom here, taking out, I believe it was 2 refineries.
Oh wow, yeah. that was actually quite devastating. I'm not sure how many harvests went down there, but obviously as it's R12.
Tip Vane at the bottom takes out all the rocket squads, but doesn't quite clean up the black hand squads of each rocket squad here. So those are gonna.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was worth it, to be honest.
I mean, it's clever how Cold Hunger is not going for Hammerhead, seeing how all these infantry. I mean, there's all the bike buggy out with Tib Core. Most players generally go for Predator tanks and Hammerheads, but yeah, he identified the swell of bike buggy, and he's not going for that. Instead, I'd imagine he's just going to go for multi-MCV and handle infantry that way. It looks like Dimitri has his MCV on the move towards the bottom. Not sure why. All right. Ooh, big engagement happening in the top.
Yeah, these avatars playing a big factor. However, they will scare off these Predator tanks, but I feel like he should just go in and do as much damage as he can to the Duel, which he's doing right now.
Oh, we got Predator tanks rolling into Cyberstorm's base. They're going to find a nice gap here, going to take out some of the infrastructure. And in the meantime, we can see that in the... Wow, actually, this is really the only engagement that's happening right now. Predator tanks rolling through the base, but they're going to get dispatched by those bike buggies. Bike buggy, though, going to take quite a pounding, though, in taking out these Predator tanks. Dimitri and Cold Hunger setting up a nice base in the middle, so they're looking like the favorites to win this game right now, simply due to that, and also the epic unit.
Yeah, the Marv's coming in right now, and I don't really see an answer to this. There's infantry here, but the mortar upgrade is done, so that won't be too much of a problem. However, this bike buggy with EMP coils now finished is going to have to watch out for that Marv.
Yeah, sending out this Marv alone is not the best idea, in my opinion, because it is just going to get EMP'd by just a few buggies. I mean, it's not a quad rail Marv, so it can't really hold versus many EMP buggies. He's also suiciding these pit bulls, which I don't kind of agree with either. He should just sit back and get some juggernauts out, and it'll be just fine. Yeah,
they're establishing an eco in the middle, which is just game-changing. I'm shocked that Phoenix didn't expand for the middle more quickly. He had plenty of time, but it just seemed like he was sitting there for no apparent reason.
Yeah, I do agree with that as well. Phoenix not necessarily playing all that well right now. He went for mass bike buggy, but I don't think those really accomplished anything, or they didn't really do anything to the economy of Cold Hunger and Dimitri. And yeah, with all those bike buggies cleaned up, I don't see what the problem is going for mass hammerheads. He's going to dispatch those infantry with ease, and these hammerheads now suddenly beg for more bike buggy to be made, which I don't think Phoenix really wants to make because of the Marv right now.
Yeah, but once again, the big mistake, everyone I find makes this mistake. They just think that the Marv can take so much damage, where with tip core bikes, and as you said before, the EMP buggies coming in, it's just going to shut down this epic unit so fast. Hammerhead's coming in, but the tip core bikes are healed.
Yeah, that's a big mistake. Again, Cold Hunger just fed that to Phoenix and Cyberstorm. He didn't really support it with anything, and he's just going to lose it straight up. There was absolutely no need for that whatsoever.
Yeah, got a heroic bike out of that. These Predator tanks are not going to get away. At the top here, we have a small scout. We have a few infantry up here taking out some EMP. But the main engagement here, Spectre is coming out by Kappa XD now. And a Redeemer now.
Yeah. Kappa XD, aka Dimitri, going to hold back this attack with Spectres, and in the top of the map we can see the MCV is established for Phoenix, so they are very much not out of this game yet. They can get their economy up, but they need to get it up soon because their Tibrium is pretty much depleted in the bottom.
I do question what the relative point was putting that airfield out in the front line. Maybe he was trying to drop a mine drop, but I don't see it anywhere.
For who?
Kappa XD, he dropped an airfield right in the front line and just kind of got shot down by tip-core bikes. Not sure what the point of that was.
Probably for the mine drop, probably. Oh, that Sonic Emitter is in an excellent position. Is going to get a lot of units right here. Taking out all those in a line.
Took out 4 bikes and 2 buggies.
Yeah, the top of the map has a Redeemer, so it's not that top of the map is not exactly defenseless versus bike buggies, but it is quite vulnerable versus the hammerheads right now. I reckon those hammerheads could probably poke in and take out that refinery up there, but I'm not sure if he identifies that threat. Instead, he sees this MCV as more of a priority. Going to take it out, especially with these Spectres from behind. They're going to quickly dispatch that MCV.
Yeah, I think the players on the left-hand side of this game just didn't prioritize eco this game. They went for a lot of harassment, but they never actually engaged the right player's field the entire game, I don't think. They just played too defensively, I think.
Well, they found themselves in a tricky spot because both of them went for bikes with no buggies to support them. The mass pits really do just annihilate bikes, so I reckon that was a mistake of Phoenix not really supporting his units with buggies, and perhaps he should have done a better job with maybe escorting his bikes with Scorpion tanks as well. But yeah, the game is certainly not over because there is an expansion in the top, and those hammerheads did take a beating, although they did kill one harvester, I do believe, up there.
Well, you have a Redeemer at the top right-hand corner here. Getting mine dropped on now, but that will put it in its place for just a few moments. But he's done a crazy amount of eco damage up here. I think this is the third harvester he's going to kill.
Yeah, probably the third harvester. He's not moving his Redeemer, so I'm not sure if he forgot about that Redeemer or if he acknowledges that he's on top of a minefield. Those mines will do significant damage, of course, if his Redeemer decides to move in that. But yeah, gonna move in some bike buggy to detect those. And with all these Spectres out for Dimitri, you'd imagine that he would make a push right now on this middle top base, as that's where all the Tiberium is right now. He cannot afford, Dimitri and Coldhanger cannot afford to let Phoenix and Cyberstorm harvest that middle field, or it will certainly go towards Phoenix and Cyberstorm's way.
Yeah, I like Kappa XD's choice to build up EMP buggies and wait for the upgrade to finish just outside. So they both coordinatedly plan this out to take out the Redeemer, which it will go down.
That's a nice pickup, true. But we have a problem right here, is that his Dimitri's MCV is going to get taken out right here, which is a big mistake. But it looks like these avatars might be getting fed to this Marv if the Marv decides to move in, but at the expense of his AMCV. That's a nice building block, by the way. Those avatars might not be able to get out of that, but yeah, the Spectre's going to destroy Kappa's own base. All right, so it looks like
we have double airfield Vertigo Venoms at the top left-hand corner here by Phoenix. He's really prioritizing those right now as defensive.
All the Vertigos,
yeah. It's going to be amazing versus that Marv Redeemer, or the Marv.
The Spectres as well.
Yeah,
they're going to get demolished. But it doesn't look like he looks like he's waiting for those Spectres to unstealth, I guess. This is looking pretty bad for Phoenix, I'd say, because this Marv is pretty much unopposed right now, and there is two epics at his doorstep, and there's no EMP whatsoever. This is not going so well for Phoenix and Cyberstorm right now, especially with all those Spectre artillery in the back of things doing some major damage.
We also have a quite considerable amount of Black Hand and infantry with Blue Flame now coming at the bottom here of Phoenix's base and the expansion. But I question the engagement here, as they are all piled up, and that Shredder turns drafting will do a considerable amount of damage to the rocket squads of each group, which is very bad for the left-hand team.
Yeah, I do agree, but in the top of the map, this base is pretty much toast. I mean, with that gone, the only salvation that Phoenix and Cyberstorm have are these infantry in the bottom, but that's going to get quickly dealt with by the Shockwave and the Hammerheads, and I won't be surprised for them to be calling the GG soon, with this army pretty much tearing their base up.
Yeah, the Vertigos probably would have saved them if
GG.
they had all 8 of them, but they just simply didn't have the eco. Like I said, they didn't prioritize their eco. Phoenix should have expanded ages ago at that game, but I'm not sure what delayed him. Maybe he was just prioritizing his epic unit over that. Not sure, really.
Yeah, that was well played by Dimitri and Coldhanger. Coldhanger, one of those guys who just showed out of nowhere, and he knows how to play the game. You can't really fault him on his strategy that game. He just played really good. He went for the Marv, and no one else was really prepared to deal with it, and he supported Dimitri quite fine, besides that engagement in the top where he should have helped Dimitri with his bike bagging. He decided to go a separate route and head towards the bottom. But besides that, he didn't really make many mistakes.
No, not at all. I think he learned from last game that he absolutely needed to protect his ally and like build better communication in that part. As you can tell, there was a lot more beacons that game compared to last game where they kind of just fended for each other.
True, true. All right, one moment. I need to do something real quick.
So the score is 1-1 if you're just joining the stream. Smoking Tiberium and Phoenix are team 2, while Kappa XD, aka Dimmy, and Cold Hunger are team 1.
My computer's absolute ass, by the way. Like, it lags so hard in those games. I'm not sure why it lags more in the new maps than it does on the EA maps. Not sure if that has something to do with optimization or what, but I've seen Sparty has the same problem.
Yeah, definitely I've seen it. Sparty's streamed. He changed a few settings, but he seemed to not get rid of it, only dimming the effects of it. So it has to be something with, I believe, the patches that's come out recently, because he didn't have problems with them back in 1.1 and such.
True. And I reckon this map will actually not lag whatsoever because of what I just said. But it'll be interesting to see whether or not that's the case or not. Lag definitely does play a role in players' performance. Some players can tolerate it more than others, which is why I bring it up right now, is because people are affected by it, and it can really sway the result of things.
Yeah, absolutely. I know some players who they absolutely will not tolerate lag at all, because a lot of players argue that it just, when you see a flame tank or when you see bikes, you could prepare for it more quickly and you don't have the rushed mindset as when there is no lag at all. So it really
also
does,
the micro becomes the micro becomes really hard as well in these lag engagements. All right, so map is going to be end of the line. And this is Phoenix and Smoking Tiberium's choice, aka Cyberstorm. Faction's gonna be switched up a little bit. Smoking Tiberium opting for that GDI, possibly to support Phoenix with. Wow, he could do all kinds of things in this map, like Predator tank spam. He could probably even do a base push as well, because both teams have to move to the middle to expand. There's all kinds of things that can happen here.
Yeah, but definitely on this map, I've seen some players go for beam cannons on this map, believe it or not. They're actually very good if you can support them with good GDI, Predator tanks, and AP ammo towers to contest the Black Hand infantry.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of Orcas as well do a lot of damage as well before before that team decides to expand. They go Orca and try and kill some harvesters. That actually can work as well. But we've got to see what these players have in store. I'm sure they're in chat right now discussing team strats. That's what this delay is.
Yeah, plus a lot of players are still confused with the team factions and maps, so they might be checking up on that as well. Probably not keeping track themselves of what map to play next and whose score is what.
Yeah. Speaking of score, it is 1-0 for Team Phoenix versus Team Dimitri. I'm just going to call it from now on. And I'm not sure if it's a best of 3 or best of 5. Did you find that out, or?
I was unable to find that out simply because I cannot tab out of my game.
All right. Well, I can probably assume that it's a best of 3 because, according to the past first rounds in tournaments, have generally been best of 3.
Yes, I just got confirmation that it is a best of 3.
All right, okay. So yeah, unsound investment. All right, that's more of a safe zone, I guess.
Yeah, on this map,
end
a
of the
lot
line
of
is a bit
players argue it is a 1v1v1. It really isn't a team effort, which I disagree on.
Well, on this map, surprisingly, it's very good for double teaming one player because it's very hard for your ally to aid really quickly because of the mountain, and the way that the teams are separated just makes it hard for either side to really do things well together, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I do
think
agree
GDI,
to some degree.
Yeah, I think GDI in this map is going to be suffering very hard. As you see, Smoking Tiberium change from GDI to Traveler. I believe acknowledging this because GDI have problems supporting, as you said, their teammate with that large mountain pass there, where Traveler can do it quite effortlessly with disintegrators and such.
I think he picked Traveler just solely due to Cold Hunger's choice going GDI, because Traveler 59 generally does counter GDI quite well, especially in the late game with the Hexapod and all that kind of shenanigan. Also, the wormhole with the Prodigy can be very annoying to deal with as GDI. So I reckon that's the reason why Smoking Tiberium went for that Traveler. But he's probably going to go Descent Rush as well. I wouldn't be surprised if Dimitri and Cold Hunger were thinking of Descents right now. All right, so in the top-hand side of the map, we have on the left-hand side Cyberstorm playing as the red Traveler 59, and over to the right of him, his ally playing as the blue, I do believe. No, it's actually going to be purple because blue and purple are almost the same in this game. It's going to be purple Dimitri, and in the bomb, who do we have?
We have Cold Hunger as the orange GDI faction, and sliding over the bottom left as the purple Black Hand, we have Dimmy, aka Kappa XD. And Demi is going to be taking both the spikes at the bottom right.
All right, so interesting. I suppose Black Hand are one of the factions that can benefit more from the spikes due to their spamming capability. But yeah, on the right-hand side of him, we have Cold Hunger playing as the orange GDI. And if we scroll up to the top, let's see who's taking both of the spikes up there. They're going to share them or what? Looks like Cyberstorm going for both of them. He's also opting to go for Disintegrator Rush, which is not really surprising. I'd imagine that Cold Hunger and Dimitri would have been expecting it anyways, because Traveler 59 generally does mean Disintegrator Rush 9 out of 10 times.
On
so
the
yeah,
top right-hand corner here, we have a Cold Hunger who secured the top spike on the right-hand side. And I believe the Traveler player will be going, which is Smoking Tiberium for the other spike. So even spike ratio here for both players, teams.
This is looking good for Cyberstorm because he has 3 spikes. He managed to grab that spike in the middle as well. And he's moving in with Disintegrators. I'm not sure if he's going to suicide in his descents.
I question
probably
the
won't work
drafting of
anymore.
that, because the bottom here, it's really going to cost him. He needs to sell that off, yeah. That Black Hand spot will be more than enough to fend that off.
Well, he did force the cancellation of the Tier 2, which is quite a big deal, actually. That Flame Rush is pretty much going to be negated. I'm not sure how far that was off from being finished, that Flame Tank, if he had one in production, but yeah, that's definitely a big deal. In the right-hand side, we can see there is a Black Hand squad. Not sure if there's a Reckoner or a Flame Tank out and about. Or if
shockingly,
he's just
there's
faking
not, and there's actually 2 bikes in the middle of the map. I think he's opting to go for it, but he didn't have the 3rd bike, so he's just kind of uncomfortable whether he wants to go in for that or not.
Maybe he just wants to flame down this spike, or maybe he's making what do you call it? Cold Hunger believe that there's a flame tank coming, so he's just going to fake it. Those descents still causing problems. Oh man!
But the Flame Rush, he actually opted to go back for the Flame Rush. I guess that would be good, so he can make use of that Black Hand squad. However, I personally think it would have been a better option to eco at that point.
Yeah, and the longer this goes on, the more time Cyberstorm is going to be given to get his eco back up in this game. When he gets that second refinery, 4 and 2, he's going to be in a much better position than Dimitri over here, simply due to the fact that he has 3 spikes under his control.
Yeah, over here the right-hand team just lost their spike due to that Black Hand squad. But the eco is looking pretty decent for the Cold Hunger here. But the ego here for Demi is just crippled right now, and he can't do anything with this Reckoner due to these descent squads. A lot of players would scack those descent squads for a Harvester, but the damage it could do to Black Hand players feels like the rush is too invaluable just to toss away at this point. Going to be engaging that. Oh no, the garrison building was going to be scaring him off. But he's opting to go for
on the
more
left-hand side.
Disintegrators.
Left-hand side, the flame tank is going to get disposed of. So that flame rush not really doing anything. Phoenix is actually there to support Cyberstorm getting rid of those. And Cold Hunger hasn't really been able to do anything to Phoenix. Phoenix is actually in the base right now, possibly there with pits to kill the Harvester spawning from the third refinery. Cold Hunger is going to probably delay his eco because of that. And yeah, the Descents are moving over to the right-hand side of the map for Cyberstorm, looking to maybe put some pressure onto Cold Hunger, who has less of an ideal response to Disintegrators with Watchtowers compared to the Shredder Turrets. Shredder Turrets generally are a bit weaker versus Descents. But yeah, Cultist now out on the field for Cyberstorm. Possibly he made those 4 mass flame tank, but I don't think Dimitri went for more than 1 or 2 flame tanks. Dimitri is quite far behind in economy, but so is Cyberstorm because he opted to go for the Cultists, and those aren't going to do very much in my opinion. Oh, Disintegrators coming to the bottom of the map. Gonna go for Harvesters. I would prioritize Harvesters over anything else right now. His ally, Dimitri, needs to be throwing down Shredder Turrets right now, or these Harvesters are all going to be toast. Oh no, that's going to be 1 Harvester down. If I was Cyberstorm, I would be definitely prioritizing the Harvesters right here. All these Harvesters are pretty much dead meat. And that's looking like Cold Hunger is going to be out of this game. I mean, I don't see how he's going to recover from this great of a loss.
Yeah, the top left hand as well, the Reckoner got completely shut down by Cultists. Even when evacuating the black hand spot, he had 2 Cultists, which is prime for taking that out.
That's true. It looks like we got some bikes in the top of the map trying to do some damage, but they weren't able to really kill that Harvester. Those Cultists really doing work. And the Blackhand squad getting captured, going to be sent back to Dimitri. Nothing more infuriating than dealing with your own units, of course. And there is mass bike buggies out, which, of course, are going to be forced by Dimitri to handle the Cultists. I don't suppose he would have necessarily wanted to build them, because of Phoenix over here being Blackhand. I mean, bikes are preferable, but yeah.
I question the sending out these Pred tanks with no anti-infantry versus Blackhand. He knew he had bike buggies, so he should really be pulling that back to defend versus that. And these Disintegrators just coming in to finish up the GDI player, knowing that he doesn't really have an answer to this without APM.
Yeah, he should have definitely gone for an airfield. Actually, he might be going for one right now. But yeah, he's I'm surprised he's not going for that MCV. Oh, that's a nice mine job. We might be able to get some of these Disintegrators, but no, Cyberstorm too good for it. Going to micro around those. In the meantime, we can see a massive swell of Disintegrators being built by Cyberstorm. He's making Descent over economy right now, which is really weird, but I guess he's just capitalizing on the fact that he has 3 spikes and he can go on 2 refineries for much longer.
Yeah, I question the choice of going mass buggy versus this Disintegrator squad. I think he would opt to go for... Oh, I guess he can't.
Oh, flame tank. Oh,
that could have been really bad if with the support power working against him in that engagement, actually.
Well, he had the cultists there, but he didn't have them in position, so I reckon he would have been fine if he had microed that. But yeah, Cold Hunger on the back foot here. He doesn't have AP ammo, and he desperately needs it versus Phoenix, who is Blackhand and has the Black Disciple upgrade. Speaking of Phoenix, he's supporting his ally with rocket squads. Cyberstorm really needs to make an effort in establishing his economy because we have Dimitri over here who has an expansion down.
Yeah, at the bottom left hand here, the flame tank was captured, but there are 3 more flame tanks coming in, and I don't think he really has an answer to this as far as units. He has Mechapeds in the back here he's going for, as well as a Hexapod.
In bottom right hand side we can see massive amounts of Disintegrators, but he's only going to find 1 Harvester here, and with that Disintegrator nerf, he's really going to not kill any more Harvesters. That was really a waste of units right there, and it looks like the flame tanks have found their way into Cyber's base, but he has Mechapeds out. But the question is, can he kill those flame tanks in time before he kills the the warp chasm?
I would definitely be prioritizing that at this point. He's actually just attacking the other tier 1.5 for the infantry, however.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's actually microing at all. He should actually kill the warp chasm. I mean,
going for the
tier 3
probably. So that's definitely him not microing. Now he is, as you can see, the flame tank's down here. Actually, he might be able to take him out of the game if he gets this drone ship.
Well, he's going to have nothing to answer the mecha piece, which he has 3 of.
The drone ship lifts
and
off
the drone
now.
ship was really not the priority target because, of course, it can lift off. I would have definitely gone for that technology assembler there. He had more than enough flame tanks to make that happen. Cyberstorm going for the mecha piece, and he still has not got a refinery up on his expansion. So he's the only player in the game who has not even bothered to get that refinery out.
Yeah, I think
And
that's
seems...
what's costing him this game, and I think the Cold Hunger here is recovering quite nicely from that Disintegrator, as he has 8 ammo. Shocking that he survived all that, to be honest, and just now choosing to go for his first Hammerhead, which is very delayed.
Yeah. These Scorpion tanks are going to be quite a problem for Cold Hunger. He's going to have to recall all of his units back. If he could hold Phoenix right now, I reckon that's Dimitri and Cold Hunger are looking very good in this game. But in the back of the base, we have the Disintegrators who are killing more of Cold Hunger's Harvesters. So Cold Hunger getting really... yeah, he's getting so much damage dealt to him. But yeah, these Hammerheads need to be watching out for these Mantises. These Scorpion tanks are going to be pushed back, though. Does Phoenix have a tier 3? It doesn't look like he has. Flame tank in the back of Phoenix's base, going to take out one of these refineries. I'm not sure if he's paying attention to that right now. He's probably elsewhere right now. And
Actually,
it looks like,
he might even get
Dimitri.
the War Factory. He's not answering this at all. I don't think he realizes it yet.
Yeah, the War Factory going to get taken out. Wow, that's going to limit Phoenix's production. And Cold Hunger looking really good right now. He's going for mass hammer hits. As long as he can hold a little longer and Dimitri can defeat Cyberstorm in this game, he's going to be quite fine here. And still, Cyberstorm has no eco. So
I feel like
if
Phoenix's mistake was
game,
he didn't try to finish Hunger off soon enough. He just let him keep building up, only relying on his ally to apply that descent pressure with no follow-up.
Yeah, I mean, Cold Hunger lost a lot of his infrastructure. I mean, he should have been out of it by now, but Phoenix didn't strike like you said and finished off Cold Hunger when he was in a weakened state. But there's going to be an engagement here, and the Mantis are not in action. These Dozer Blade Scorpion tanks looks like they will have enough to dispose of those. Does he have tier 3 Cold Hunger right now? No, he does not. So no Sonic Emitter going to be coming down, but I reckon with the AP Ammo Watchtower support, that will be enough. And the Bike Buggy, Bike Buggy coming in the top. But no, Dimitri has second thought. It's going to pull back for some reason.
I question that decision. I think he's in the fear of this.
That's massive. All these tanks going to get slaughtered now by the Hammerheads. There's no anti-air here whatsoever. That's a lot of dead Scorpion tanks. Cold Hunger should definitely go in and kill as many tanks as possible before Phoenix has rebuilt those Mantis, which I guess he will have more on the way right now. He's probably go for Tib Core before any other upgrade, or maybe that was just charged particle beams. He has nothing to really utilize that, though.
Yeah, Dimmy
Hexapod
here going on the bottom left-hand corner here. Mechapedes are going to be taking out these harvesters if they're not answered, and these are full blue tip harvesters, except for 2 of them. I don't think he's going to get those away.
I'm surprised he doesn't have the Tib Core upgrade yet. Dimitri should have definitely got that a long time ago. I mean, he was on tier 3 for a while.
He still is, and he's not choosing to upgrade it, oddly enough. He has his Redeemer out, though.
As long as he micros here, he should kill these Mechapedes. I mean, Cyberstorm isn't doing a good job microing those. Hammerheads doing some damage there.
I don't reckon the Storm Column was really worth it in that situation. You already saw the Hammerheads pulling back when he dropped it, so really kind of a waste there.
And Dimitri just allowing Cyberstorm to recover in this game. Cyberstorm got 2 refineries out, but he didn't spread them apart, so he's going to get them one-clicked if Dimitri is latched onto that. Again, Scorpion tanks coming in without support, no anti-air here. Mantises are well out of position, and he's going to pay for it by losing a few of these tanks. In the meantime, we have the Hexapod on the bottom left-hand side.
Yeah, the Hexapod, definitely.
This Redeemer should definitely raise this Hexapod when it gets low so the base doesn't work or you can't teleport it. He just EMP'd his buggies, by the way. He should EMP it right now. Okay, it's going to get teleported back. Well, Dimitri really has to do something happen, needs to make something happen because of the Hexapod. If it does this all day, Dimitri's going to find himself to be slowly losing this game. But yeah, can Cold Hunger hold on for much longer? That's the question right now.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem here is if they get Smoking Tiberium here to get all this Tib, it's gonna just be the game right here. That if they have to cap or Dimmy, I should say, has to stop that from happening, or else this Hex Lane combined with all this eco is just going to be a steamroll once he gets some tripods out.
What Dimitri should do right now is he should go into Phoenix's base. There's nothing in Phoenix's base to stop all those bike buggies. I mean, he could just kill Phoenix right now and give Cold Hunger the chance to kill off Phoenix, but yeah, these Mechapedes, I guess, are just forcing back the bike buggy.
I feel like he's just fearing the Hex Lane right now. He's too afraid of it with all this infantry and bike buggy. Even he has the force, as you said, but he's just there's a fear factor involved with Smoking Tiberium right now.
Oh, that was a nice EMP right there. He's going to kill. Oh, he just used a phase. Well, that phase can actually be costly because this Hexapod now cannot be phased. So if it gets low on health, it's probably going to fall. All right, and those mechas will escape though, so I guess that's one thing. The only Tiberium left on the map for Dimitri to harvest is, of course, that blue tip, so it's his priority to ensure that he can secure that. The Redeemer is now out on the field for Phoenix, so Phoenix is looking quite comfortable versus Cold Hunger. A little earlier he didn't seem to be, but now he is. Cold Hunger doesn't have very much in the way of harvesters right now. It looks like he only has one single harvester, so he's pretty much not looking too great here. Dimitri, again, he had the opportunity to finish off Cyberstorm or Phoenix with his bike buggy, but he chose to sit around too long, and I reckon that's the reason why the game is as it is right now.
Yeah, once again, Cold Hunger, I think, overstepping with his Marv quite a few times in the last game, as well as this game. He had his Marv almost where those Scorpion tanks were, and just had to pull it all the way back out of position. He really never puts his main force with that. As you can see at the bottom right here, Dimmy is choosing to finally engage with his... No, he's pulling back again.
Yeah, it looks like Dimitri finally going to attack Phoenix here. And this army is massing up in Cold Hunger's base, though it is kind of out position versus the bike buggies. Dimitri reacting a bit too slowly, and Cyberstorm still has Tiberium at his disposal, so he can still make units, and the longer this game goes on, the more Cyberstorm and Phoenix are looking favored to win here, solely due to the fact that one of these players is Trial 59 and he can endlessly recycle this Hexapod.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, I think Dimmy is the only player right now that is just, he's in the position where he could change the game, decide whether he wins or loses a team aspect, because as you could tell, as I said before, the tripods are starting to come out from the Traveler 59 player. When they get tripods out with the Hexapod and the Descent's follow-up, it just... Oh, that tip vein though, I did capture that. All these Scorpion tanks going to be falling down to that except for
the question is, does Phoenix have his own tip vein to answer these bike buggies? Because if he does, that would be definitely game over. Oh, does he have EMP? Dimitri, Dimitri, do you have EMP? Yes, you do. What you're doing? Come on, EMP it.
Oh, he has so many buggies for this. Yes, now he just realized that he's going to EMP. Is he going to EMP all of them?
EMP. Dimitri, come on. Oh my god.
This is painful. Okay, there it is. He didn't EMP all of them at once, but that was... He should have done that much more effectively than he did. Shockingly, he doesn't have tip core.
Yeah, he doesn't have tip core. I think anyone can spot that mistake. He should have had it for a long time now, but he has not even bothered to research it.
He's not even going to finish the Redeemer. He's going to let it walk away. Really?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. That is... Why? Why?
I don't know.
That...
But...
I can't even...
I'm lost for words actually right now. I don't even know what to say at this point.
Did that just happen? Like... Maybe the Hammerhead can clean it up? No, what was that?
Well, the Redeemer will escape. Didn't really deserve to, but the Marv, Cold Hunger, he's just chilling with his Marv right now. He's got nothing. He's just solely relying on Dimitri to finish this game, but it's not looking likely. With these 3 Devastator warships, these infantry are basically useless now.
Yeah, the Spectres are trying to focus down the Hexapod, which is going to do a massive amount of damage. Is the Prodigy still here? Yes, but the Corruptors are basically non-existent at this point. Planetary Assault carrier is coming out. I question this decision.
He should rage the Hex so that it can't teleport or be phased. He didn't do that, so the Hex will again teleport back to safety. That's a nice rage gen. Not sure if he already used it, but I wasn't really paying attention there. Mantis is coming around the side, but they are belonging to Phoenix, so those aren't going to do anything. Mass Spectre, which I'm not sure was the ideal choice. I reckon the Mass Beam Cannon would have been much better, personally, because you would have had a counter to 1, the Prodigy, 2, the Hexapod, and 3, you could have just killed the tripods from afar.
But at this point, with Traveler spamming attacks, I do believe he's going for the... No, he's not going for the Traveler's end, which is shocking. When you see your opponent making packs into these here, you know you've messed up in one way or another.
Yeah. That's absolutely true. Especially when there's limited Tiberium. I don't think this is the optimal unit for Cyber to build, but he's just going to build them anyway. And Dimitri, does he have Tib Core?
No players have Tib Core in this game, which
even
is absolutely
have Tib Core.
shocking.
No Tib Core. Okay. Well, the rage does go off. By the way, these packs... Oh, that's a nice...
that Spectre shot. Killing
shot.
3 tripods.
Unfortunately, there is nothing to answer these packs, though, and without Tib Core, these bikes aren't going to really do it for him either. Hexpod is going to work its way and try and kill this Redeemer.
And this Redeemer at the top here, at full health now, scaring off the Smart, which has not done anything all game. Shocking.
And there goes the bikes, and all these packs are...
Ooh, they're almost stacked up, but they're not quite.
Oh my god.
Devastators actually are an answer to these bikes if they can get some good shots off, however. They are choosing
Yeah, I do agree. You should actually use the Ion Storm.
Oh, there he goes.
Does activate right there to get some more kills. But what's happening over here? We've got the Marv that's EMP'd. So Cold Hunger looking like he's going to lose this Marv if Phoenix has constant stream of EMP buggies coming, but it doesn't appear like it. He's just leaving those buggies at home, and that's going to give Cold Hunger the opportunity to escape again with this Marv.
We have some hammerheads coming in here. I think this will fend off and save Marv, but the Tip Core won't allow him to gate it.
Not like you tripods. Anyway. Did he actually kill the husks, or were these other tripods that he had? Because
he did not.
That's
kill
definitely a mistake as well. So yeah, allowing Cyberstorm to get 3 more tripods, that's a massive mistake. He should have actually left one Spectre at home to finish off those husks. He should have just finished the husks, because that's 3 tripods now. Right, Storm Riders coming in for Cyberstorm. That's going to kill off these hammerheads.
But this really... stack up of the Storm Riders, if he's not careful, he will lose all of those. But he doesn't quite. He goes back to base.
Well, I like how Cyberstorm is identifying that these players don't know what Tib Core is, so he's just going to mass air, which is actually a good strategy.
Yeah, definitely. At this point, Traveler would have no option to go for air, but seeing as both players have no Tib Core, it's rather shocking, but not as shocking as that Redeemer lifesaver there. I'm not sure. The entire map, as you look around, is basically empty. If you see by Dimmy's base here, he has some extra Tib that's not being harvested from dead harvesters. He should might go and collect that. If he's
and he's moving out with his bike buggy, but I guess he's just going to Q move once again and send them to kill the mechas. These mecha P's just forcing these bike buggies around.
So
he's going to get some nice
on the mechas. That's shocking.
He's going to get some kills on these Corruptors with the Spectres. I mean, he has the counter to those, but he has nothing to really answer this growing air force of Traveler and also these tripods again. I think, personally, Cyberstorm has enough to go in and kill Dimitri outright.
I think
As for Phoenix...
Yeah, I think he...
Is that a real nuke? That's also another question, because I don't really... I think we failed to bring up the nuke, but I was thinking maybe it was a decoy. He hasn't fenced it, so perhaps it is. It's one thing you can do, but I guess we'll find out in a moment. I'm gonna actually check to see to his view, see if it is indeed real.
I think it is a real nuke, definitely.
It is actually a real nuke.
Yeah, he used the fake one at just a little bit behind more. I actually didn't acknowledge the nuke at all. I didn't realize this.
Well, the perfect nuke would be in Dimmy's base, where that tier 3 is. I mean, if he just drops it there, he puts Dimmy in such a odd position.
Yeah, he'll lose his 1 point.
It's so devastating.
5, he'll lose his 4, he'll lose his 3, and he'll lose his 2, and his power as well. But it might even be a better option to take out the Spectre for that, or the Bike Buggy if you can. However, I highly doubt he will be fast enough to take out that Bike Buggy, as he's letting his Hexapod just take this damage from the Spectres, which is shocking.
The map has also ranked up, so this map doing some real work, and the Storm Riders also being a pain for the Hammerheads. One thing that Cold Hunger should definitely do is put rockets in these Hammerheads so that he has some form of anti-air for those Hammerheads.
Alright, we have the bikes.
But yeah, that's a good nuke there. Or he's going to fire it supposedly on these Spectres right here, and that's going to be a lot of dead Spectres.
Oh, perfect. Just got it in time. It just annihilated the Spectres, as I was just saying before. The Spectres were probably the most optimal to get, unless you were saying they got to the base. However, I don't think he would have had anything to scout at even the base. Maybe he could have sacked the mechas for the scout, but I still don't think he would.
Well, he's getting double teamed now by Dimitri. Dimitri gonna go in and kill some harvesters. He has no infantry here right now, and this Marv is gonna get some real damage done to it. He needs to EMP. He can take out Phoenix's army if he just EMPs right now.
Oh, it would be a lovely rage gen right now. All these fights, like
he does use the ally does use that.
Oh, and they
Marv
turn it around,
forward.
the Redeemer, and I think that might be just what we need to win this game.
But there is the looming threat.
Oh,
of
that
those,
beam combined,
planetary assault carriers. And the Redeemer does fall, so the Marv is pretty much untouched at this point. And those beams, do they actually do damage when they're phased? I don't know. How are they even firing?
I have
That's
no
weird.
idea. They actually are not doing any damage to the themselves.
I've never seen that before. Wow.
That is
Okay,
the
well,
first for me as well.
Alright, well, he should probably just crush those actually. The Storm Column needs to be taken out. Besides that, there's nothing here that can really challenge the Marv. If I was Demi right now, get Tip Core, man. I mean, just get it and you win the game. That's all you have to do.
Yeah,
just get Tip Core.
EMPing that Redeemer, that I think is going to cost the left-hand side of the team. As we have a wormhole, which is... Oh, he's actually using the wormhole to get his Hexapod over here, which actually is not a bad idea.
Yeah, but can Cold Hunger identify this? Yes, he can. Or where is the Bike Buggies? The Bike Buggy needs to be coming in right now to try and EMP this Hexapod. Are those Hammerheads Cold Hungers? Yes, they are. There is no anti-air in that Hexapod, so he will get some damage done by the Hammerheads. There is one heroic bike though.
Yeah, I
see
that.
Again, if he gets Tip Core, he'll be in good shape with those, because he has so many bikes. I've mentioned that like 1,000 times already, but it's just so painful to watch how this game could have been so much different if they got Tip Core, you know?
Yeah, the top player actually, what is his name? Demi.
Oh, just
EMP. Does have
EMP the Hex. EMP it.
And is he going to get this? Yes, he gets it. So the teleporting will be gone.
Right,
and this
there's no phase either.
Yes, this will spell up. That is gone. And if Demi was smart right now, he would engage Smoking Tiberium immediately.
Oh my god, this is actually falling apart for Phoenix and Cyberstorm. I have no idea who's going to win this game, but the nuclear missile is going to go off in 4 minutes. Though the question is, do they have enough time to hold? This Marv, when it gets healed up to 4, he's just going to roll in once again, and yeah, those tripods, I don't see them.
I wonder if he's going to use the Spectres to take out those tripods yet again. That would be quite the sight. The Raging does go off, and I think he will go maybe for the Crush move. This would be a good option.
We got some Hammerheads in the back. Maybe they can kill the power plants, which he's doing right now. And the tripods, they're going to get EMP'd. Oh my god! All the tripods go down.
Yep, just like I said, the Spectres are taking down the tripods, and now it's EMP here with next to this Redeemer. Oh wait, no, that is not. That's his Spectre.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I can't believe this is actually happening.
This is
how. This game is so back and forth. I just don't believe it right now. Despite the mistakes, I just it's been somewhat of a roller coaster ride, hasn't it?
Yes, it has, especially with the Redeemer as well as these EMP mistakes and letting the Redeemer go.
Oh, Project goes down.
Project go down. Yeah, just seeing that. I suppose Smoking Tiberium could bring this back if he takes out Cap or Demi right now. However, if he doesn't do that, I don't see him making a comeback in this game, as Phoenix is basically out of it.
We got... Dimmy's going Tib Core. Oh my god.
What?
I don't believe
Tib
it.
Core?
He's
What is
making,
that?
He's going Tib Core. Oh my god. He finally realized.
Damn.
Alright, and this Marv, just put it on aggressive stance, man, and roll over this base. If I was Phoenix right now, I'd just sell, because you're just going to give this Marv experience. Not that there's anything that's going to kill it, of course, because, yeah, there's only a Hexapod out,
Wow,
and Dimitri
actually,
has his Redeemer.
Nash is actually, Cold Hunger is actually taking these tripods back, which is going to be insanely good for the other team. I'm surprised they didn't clean up those houses.
Given his limited resources, this guy has done a lot of damage with his units.
Yeah, at this
He's
point,
made
I would
these hammer
sell
hits.
the Temple of Knox for $2,500. Acknowledge.
I mean, of all the players in this game, I'd say Cold Hunger was certainly the player of the game. He's the one who has made the least mistakes of all the players. Which is surprising, because he's somewhat of an unknown player. And to say that he played the best out of all these three behemoths would be saying something, actually.
Yeah, the Marv is actually elite now, so we could see that going heroic in the future if he does take out a few more units. I can't imagine it's too far off from that.
If I was Cold Hunger, I'd just send this Marv directly to Dimitri, though he has to watch out for the tripod EMP, so perhaps that's not a good idea. Again, if he supports this Redeemer with his Marv, elite Marv,
to be frank,
really
at this point, supporting the Marv with anything at this point moving in will probably win him the game. However, he just has to be aware of if there's tripods, which I don't believe he has a single tripod to do this.
He needs to keep these hammerheads near the Blackhand player, because they do cover the sole weakness of Blackhand, and that is not having an answer to the Prodigy. These hammerheads will provide ample firepower to kill that Prodigy, which can be a real nuisance for Blackhand.
You also have to take into account that the players on the right have lost all their spikes. Except for Smoking Tiberium, which still has 2 spikes in the back of the new base, which that will be making a difference, and has been throughout this entire game in terms of eco.
Yeah, he's had those for like 20 minutes now, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
That's definitely been giving him a lot of income. A lot of questionable decisions in this game by every one of these players, but I think the game will be decided now. I think with this Marv, well, it's actually elite Marv, but if it does get heroic, obviously that will spell the doom of Cyberstorm.
We have Hammerheads coming up here. I think he's realized that the spikes are probably still alive, and he's going to go for those, as I just pointed out. Or no, he's actually opting to go down here. The AA battery will scare him off, so he will go for the spikes.
Oh, he doesn't have the shard upgrade.
Oh, if you actually click them, he actually has Blackhand Infantry, Blue Flame in these Hammerheads, which is quite brilliant, to be honest. And the damage they're doing with Flame is insane. So I would...
Alright, well, it looks like the Marv is coming in to support Dimitri here. This scene's kind of reminding me like of Lord of the Rings: Two Towers.
Yes.
The end of the movie where the Riders of Rohan arrive. Well, that's basically it right now. We've got the Marv here. It's going to save the day for Dimitri.
Yeah, these Hammerheads are actually taking down these Storm Riders with the Blackhand Rocket Squad. However, the Slingshot's coming in to save them as well. But once again, you have to acknowledge the presence of these two tripods with the Marv. He could honestly move in with that win. However, I don't see much AA besides the light bug.
That's a nice race gen.
Yeah, it definitely is.
This is GG. I mean, the amount of supporting units here for this Redeemer is basically nuts.
Yeah, I just like
these
seeing
two tripods.
These Blackhand infantry in these Hammerheads, which is what you don't see often. He also has Supercharged Carbon with him.
If he's not paying attention, he will lose this Marv, and that's something that Cyberstorm desperately needs to happen right now. But he's going to pay for it with all of his Planetary Assault Carriers, and this Marv will likely go heroic as well if it gets the last shot on this Hexapod.
No,
but the face does come off.
I reckon if he takes down some Mechapedes with that Marv, it'll also go heroic. But I think these tripods will do that. Once again, these devs are doing a great job in hiding these Bike Buggy and tripods. As you see, the forces of them dwindling down to only about a dozen of them left in the back here. So
those Hammerheads, they desperately need to be on the front line to help this Marv kill the Prodigy, because that's precisely what Cyberstorm has on his mind right now, building one more Prodigy. But yeah, the more units this Marv kills, the closer it's going to get, reaching that heroic status. And yeah, that's going to be quite force to be reckoned with.
I don't
And
believe he has
Hunger.
Yeah, he only has one Corruptor to heal this Hexapod, so unless he gets that up to full health, I don't think he'll be able to hold off another assault. MCV is actually pushing out here for Dimmy. He's actually looking to go for a base push.
I mean, I think Cyberstorm, I don't know, I don't think he's had a moment of realization yet, but he's lost this game. I mean, there's nothing he can do at this point. So I'm not sure what he's doing.
Yeah,
He seems to
he's
be
the
just
type of
dragging the
player
game.
to drag the game on till the last man, as far as I've seen.
I've noticed that also. Though not as bad as Unleashed. Unleashed takes that to
he will
very
play till the last
extreme
militant
spectrum.
outpost.
Yeah, Unleashed. He isn't participating in this tournament either. There is quite a few high-profile players in this tournament, Spectre included. It'd be interesting to see how far he gets. He hasn't been on very much lately. Him, Andre, and Panic, I do believe, are playing. Oh, we got Tungsten for Cold Hunger.
Yeah, going to
so,
be.
yeah,
I think they've all just spammed their upgrades. I think they have every single upgrade they can get now. Besides, of course,
and that's going to be the end of those Devastators.
Yeah, and then with these
He
EMP coming here, I think after the he's come in, he will quit the game. Or should quit the game. Actually, that with the EMP, oddly enough. I guess he didn't get to finish the full animation.
Oh, not again.
Still.
Oh my god.
He actually got the EMP off, but it just didn't go. That's actually an elite Mechapede right there. That's been alive since the beginning of the game.
Oh, kill it. Oh, kill it. That's going to give so much experience if you kill
that.
it.
Oh, the Marv,
kill it.
the Marv.
Kill it.
Oh, it just misses it. Oh, the Mechapede, actually, he's healing it with the Corruptors, which is what you don't see often for Mechapedes. This Marv is just so close to going heroic, it's not even funny. If he kills that
at this
Cultist
point,
squad
I
off,
would just
maybe.
send it forward and kill this Hex. I mean, there's nothing besides that Hex. I mean, the Prodigy is without anti-air. That's going to get taken out. Nicely done there by Cold Hunger. And all he can do now is just move everything forward.
Yeah, like
and,
you said, he could have done this a while ago, just moved his hammerheads in this game. However, he just delayed it.
Well, it's playing it safe.
Yeah.
And I can get behind that. He's not going to allow anything to go wrong in this game, and that's going to be GG. Which indeed it was, but Cyberstorm in this game, I feel, let his ally down by not expanding a lot earlier. I mean, he did some damage to Cold Hunger, but that wasn't enough. Phoenix didn't have what it took to kill off Cold Hunger in this game, and that elite Marv pulling through in the end. A nice use of the hammerheads with the garrison inside of them.
Yeah, definitely Cold Hunger filling it on the department, looking at the stats now due to that.
And if you look at units killed, the amount of units he killed relative to the amount of income he got was insane. 333 units. And he got the least income, so definitely well played to Cold Hunger and Dimitri in that game. Dimitri not so much for not getting Tib Core, though in the end he did win solely due to possibly his ally.
He actually had a 3 to 3.37 kill ratio to units, which is shocking in a 2v2.
Yeah. Alright, I'll be right back in a minute or so, okay?
That is fine. I'll let him know. Yeah, that game, for all the people in my stream watching right now, that was a really close game, but the fact is, Dimmy, that was so painful to watch. As well as Hunger leaving that Redeemer, it literally just needed a couple more bike shots. He had 3 bikes there, that would have been enough. Like half a volley would have killed it. But he just let it go. I mean, I don't know. They lost anyway, but that Redeemer, if they would have just finished it, it would have ended the game so much more soon. But the mistakes by both players was just, I don't know. By the way, if you guys want to know the, I believe it was a best of 3. So Team 1 did win, which was Dimmy and Cold Hunger. Team 2, which was Smoking Tiberium and Phoenix, only got 1 win, and they were out of the tournament. But yes, that was a good game, but painful to watch, as I pointed out throughout the entire cast. Just waiting for the next game to come up here. I'm not sure who it is versus yet. I believe the other game is still being done to decide the next tourney.
Right, what do I miss? Did I miss anything?
You have not missed anything. Spectre and Death, or Spectre and Death and Spectre versus Vision and Entree is going to be the next one, I believe.
All right, okay. Is this series, did it just begin, or?
Actually, I'm not really sure. I just hopped into the game. I will ask.
All right, okay, so it's going to be a new series. Who are they playing against?
It is Death and
Andre
Spectre
Panic.
versus Vision and Entree.
Oh, that's going to be a good one. All right. Don't know who's going to win this.
Yeah, it's
going to be very
definitely
tight.
going to be a very tight game. I do need to go on Observer.
All right, let me check the tournament format out real quick. I want to get clued up on this.
Yeah, that'd be the best idea.
All right, so the only determined map is the first map. I'm not sure if this is the... Okay, this is the semi-final, so they're going to be playing on Suburban Arena first, and in the finals, the first map will be Tiberian Forest, which is more or less is going to be Forgotten Forest.
Yes, with the exception, of course, that EMP and that Mutant Hubble is the only really occurring difference.
Alright, so Def and Spectre deciding to go random in this game, which is a little odd. Not sure if they are going to stick with that or they're going to pick them before the game starts. Maybe they're discussing factions right now. Meanwhile, we have Andre in One Vision going to choose their respective factions. One faction that's really good on this map is going for Steel Talons.
Yeah, with the rush distance with this, as well as the Behemoth's power in the late game, would be an optimal choice. However, Blackhand would also be good with the amount of area you can click with these refs close together and the distance between scouting such tip fields.
Well, the rush distance on this map is smaller than any 2v2 map. It's like a 1v1 map. I mean, it is literally like Tournament Arena.
But with just more
the size of it. Yeah, exactly. So for that reason, tactics that work on Tournament Arena generally will work on this map as well. So stuff like base pushing with Steel Talons and Titans and man spam all-ins from Blackhand would really do well on this map. So Blackhand, Steel Talons are the kind of factions that you would see shine here.
Yeah, definitely. I do question the choice of going Scrin on this map. I'm not sure if he's planning to stick with that Andre or not.
Well, Dev tanks can be very good, but against Blackhand, Scrin aren't... Well, actually, no, he's not against Blackhand because his ally's playing Blackhand.
No, he's the first random, yeah. Right now, at least.
Well, maybe he'll change from Scrin to another faction if Death Sentence and Spectre choose anything besides random. But yeah, Scrin is a peculiar choice. I wonder if they've got any team-based tactics in mind.
Yeah, you would think that they would, as they've probably been planning for this tournament. But I don't know if they plan to switch up the factions Team 1, and they haven't been really saying anything.
No, there is one spike per each player on this map, by the way, in the corner. There is no spikes besides those. There is bunkers in the middle of the map, and
a notable thing to add, there is no blue tip as well.
Yeah, there is no blue tip either, which is instead of blue tip we have the fourth player's Tiberium field, or it was converted into a 2v2 map by replacing blue fields with green.
Also,
well,
there is a line of bunkers in the middle of the map, I do believe. I think there's about 5 in total.
Maybe he picked Scrin just to clear those bunkers, which I guess is quite a smart move as well. But what if Death Sentence or Spectre got Traveler? Then that would be a big problem because Blackhand and Scrin both suffer versus Traveler's mind control because they don't have air units like Venoms or Hammerheads to take out those mind controlling units.
Precisely. Also, shocking to see Spectre and Death not picking their factions. I guess they don't want the other team to counter them. I feel like they're a little too confident, as they do get a great combination, in my opinion, Traveler and Reaper, relying on that tank
Traveler. As I said before, Traveler's going to be a real problem for Blackhand and Scrin. It's not the best team combination to be up against Traveler. But anyhow, on the left-hand side, we have, playing in the bottom, Andre as the blue Scrin. And if we scroll up to the top, we can see his ally, One Vision, playing as purple Blackhand. And over to the right, who is playing over there?
Over on the right hand side, as the red Traveler 59, we have Spectre just capturing a spike, as well as sliding over to the bottom as the green Reaper 17, we have Death Sentence.
Alright, and it looks like we have just one Disintegrator opening from Spectre. I do believe that is Spectre. Yes, it is. Not going for Shrine. I mean, it's Stasis Chamber, which is a little peculiar, considering how he knew that he was up against Scrin. But I guess he's just a little scared going against Blackhand and being faced against Cabal squads. Descent rushes probably won't work so well versus them. But anyhow, looks like every player going to open with Power Plant first in this game. Besides, no, actually they all did that.
No, actually, One Vision actually did not. He went for his rep first and just captured Spike just a few moments ago.
Alright, well that's going to give One Vision an extra tank load of Tiberium over the other players in this game. I think that's probably the more ideal build, personally. Anyhow, we got a lot of scouts out on the map right now. Of course, it is imperative for Spectre and his ally Death Sentence to scout One Vision because of Black Hand. So yeah, that's a priority for them right now.
Yeah, definitely. The eco looks about even for all the players at the moment. I don't see any relative difference in eco. This buggy is definitely getting a full scout off here, which I don't believe the other team has scouted the left-hand side of the map. Yeah. No, they haven't. I just checked their vision. They actually have no eyes on them at all. I don't believe they even know their faction name.
Now, there's no need to really expand to your expansion on this map with your drone ship or MCV just because it is that close to you. I mean, you can literally just place a ref on your expansion from your MCV starting location. So that's the reason why we don't see players expand here. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're going for 2 war factories or more aggression. It just means that they're going to possibly expand and not even move their MCV. Looks like Spectre is going for a tier 2, so maybe looking to go Mechapeds, which on this map I don't see working so well because it's just
you need a lot of room for Mechapeds to work. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like the map that will work for Mechapeds.
Like,
but then again,
Forest would be great with that.
Andre is going for eco. If I was Andre right now, I'd go for tier 2 war factory dev tanks. Seeing how I'm up against all these Mechapeds, and also dev tanks are really good versus Skrin as well, or Reaper specifically.
Yeah,
so,
Reaper, I think in this game, if he gets these mass tripods out, I think the left side team is really going to start feeling that. And as you said, the top right hand player here, Spectre, is actually opting to expand with his drone ship close to that tip field, which is once again questionable, as you put it, as no other player did this. They just expanded in their stationary positions.
Yeah, and just as I suspected, Andre going to go for those 2 war factory dev tanks, which is smart indeed. Mechapeds out in the field, they're not going to do too much versus Scorpion tanks. I like how One Vision went for Scorps instead of bikes, which is the counter that people usually make. But yeah, Scorpion tanks are much better because they can tank more damage versus Mechapeds.
We actually see a flame tank out here, which is questionable. I guess he's trying to counter disintegrators that might be coming out for the trap player.
I think he made that because of the looming threat of the lightning spike. He had that there just so he could clean that up real quick, which is pretty good. Of course, that's going to pose a problem later, having one flame tank out, because that's going to make Spectre sweat a little bit, because if he doesn't see that, he's going to be all over the map looking for it.
Yeah, these Mechapeds going to be engaging the Scorpion tanks and taking them out quite easily if he allows them to kite them too easily.
Yeah, there is more than enough units here to stop those mechas. I don't see the mechas doing anything here.
The dev tanks are going to be maybe sniping the heads of these mechas, which he should avoid those at all costs. One getting sniped
one mecha
out.
goes down.
Yes.
If the headshots are real from Andre, then this game is looking to be very bad for. Oh, there's a flame tank in the top. Can Spectre see that? He suspects that it might be there, so he's sending his mecha piece back. But the problem with that is that his harvester is now exposed. Andre moving in with tons of dev tanks.
Oh, and the Stormcaller coming down to prevent this, though, as well as disintegrators. I don't think he will know. He will not get a harvester and another. Oh no, that just was from the other player. I thought
there is a tripod out there. So Death Sentence on tier 3 right now, so yeah, looking to get those heavy tier 3 units out. That's going to be a problem for Black Hand and Skrin. If I was Black Hand right now, it would be the ideal time to transition into infantry.
Yeah, oddly enough, Death Sentence is not opting to go for the Reaper tripod upgrades, which is shocking. Normally I would recommend starting with the Grim Prison Prisoners and going into force field generators right away, but he's choosing not to upgrade that for some reason.
Yeah, One Vision going for beam cannons right now, which is really odd. I would actually go for infantry if I was him, because there's literally no anti-infantry besides these mechas, which do get hard counted by infantry anyways. So,
well, considering the small distance of the map, the beam cannons would cover a large area. But once again, these infantry doing some major cleanup of these beam cannons and scorpion things right now. He really needs some venom of some sorts. Oh, he is Black Hand, so I suppose buggy or flame tanks would be able to get for that.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, it looks like Spectre and Death Sentence are looking to be in a prime position in this game, with the Prodigy out, with the tripods out. with Andre being just now on tier 3. The longer this game goes on, the more it's going to go in Traveler's favor because of that Prodigy. Being Scrin and Black Hand means that you won't have anything to kill that Prodigy.
Yeah, definitely. As
the
you
form
see,
of aircraft.
yeah, he did area mind control those beam cannons for just a moment. The Prodigy did go down just then, and the Mechapedes are falling back without a loss of a Mechapede. At the bottom here, we actually have a huge Reaper tripod course with oddly no upgrades. He's just getting one now. I think it'll be force field. No, it's going to be conversion reserve. It's upgrading too fast to be shields, I think. But we'll see the result just now, and he is getting shields, and we're throwing down that support power to slow down units. I think we'll give him the edge he needs.
Yeah, there's actually 2 support powers thrown down on that. I'm not sure if that was a mistake or what, but
oh, yeah,
there is a status shield and temporal wormhole, so I think that was a bit wasteful, but it doesn't matter. There is tripod steamrolling into this base right now. Andre is in all sorts of trouble. There is no infantry out for One Vision to handle this in a cheap way.
He's spamming out disintegrators, which is questionable, but he's going to phase this army, which is odd.
Desperation, I guess.
Yeah, he phased his whole army, which he needed to defend. But
there
the beam cannons are actually doing very well versus these tripods. There's no answer to them, really.
But in the meantime, at the back of the base, we have these Mechapedes just cleaning up stray harvesters, going back to that refinery. There is literally nothing to handle those. In fact, all 3 harvesters that were there have been idle for some bit. It looks like One Vision forgot to reorder those, but yeah, the tripods are coming in to kill some of One Vision's harvesters.
Yet, but it is in the wake right now. The Rage Gen will probably spell the doom of death of these Reaper tripods.
Yeah, the problem with this engagement here is that he's going to leave back a lot of husks if he loses these tripods, and that could be what One Vision needs to get back in this game if he can try and capture the husks.
Actually, we have Mechapedes in the back here aiming for this Texan, which I don't think he'll get. It's gonna come close though. No, he doesn't actually
doesn't quite get it. But
I'm
surprised that
tripods
Spectre
are actually going to clean up this demon.
Yeah, he has nothing really to counter those. Again,
low health,
Black Hand, he hasn't really utilized the strength of Black Hand in this game, which is infantry. He hasn't gone for infantry, nor has he gone for any flame-based rushes, which generally work really well versus Reaper 17 and Traveler. So I reckon that One Vision definitely missed his opportunity to make the most out of his faction in this game.
Yeah, definitely, I would agree. He is using Buzz. I think he threw in Buzz's support power there to pay him for his husks. He failed to kill the other 2, which he will be paying for right now. And this, I don't think this Hexapod has a chance of getting away as long as he pumps out Pluggies, which he's not doing, oddly enough, in either of his war factories.
He's going to claim... Oh, he's actually got tripods out now. But, yeah, there's one thing that Spectre could do which could end this game a lot easier, and that is go for Cultists, because with all these tripods and heavy tier 3 units out on the field, Cultists are going to be very, very good for taking those tripods over.
Yeah, once again, we have another engagement of Reaper tripods fully charged this time. With he doesn't actually have conversions reserved, nor is... Oh, I think he's going for that now. But, yeah, that stasis is going to fend this off as this Hexapod moves forward, as well as the combination of this Redeemer.
Yeah, if I was One Vision, I would definitely be focusing down these tripods instead of the Hexapod that's faced right now. He's got tons of EMP buggies, so he has no real chance of losing this engagement.
The phase has gone off coming out now, so that's going to be inevitably dead now.
Right, what he needs now is buggies, and also he needs anti-infantry for these cultists right now. Cultists coming in to snatch some tripods, but yeah, the Cabal squad's making short work of those. The micro not really on point for Spectre. He could have made something happen there.
Yeah, they're more focused on the bottom engagement right now with these tripods wreaking havoc on this bottom base. Knowing he can't beat the Redeemer and the Hexapod, he's going to choose to hollow out the base, which is not a bad option. However, once he goes in too far deep in the back of the space, I don't think he can get out.
This is a problem because, I mean, Spectre and Death Sentinels can't keep this up forever because they're running out of Tiberium. The more units they waste, the more tripod husks they feed to Andre and One Vision, the more this is going to sway in One Vision and Andre's favor, because they still have a lot of Tiberium at their disposal. They're also Spectre and Death Sentence are also gifting these husks as well.
Yeah, they're throwing them in the very back of the base, which they have no hope.
Oh, these cultists getting all massacred. Oh my god, that Devastator warship.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize how powerful Devastator warships are on infantry once they hit. They actually do a considerable amount of splash damage, as well as I believe they're grenade type damage, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and they're gonna get. Oh, they're actually out of position now. Wow, this game suddenly is looking really bad for Death
actually did not lose a
Spectre.
Devastator, surprisingly enough, but he did clean up some husk on the front porch of Andre's base here, so that's reasonable to note.
We got 2 epic units versus 1 right now, which is quite an advantage for One Vision and Andre. One Vision now, I guess, needs to go for Tibcore and maybe Bike Buggy, but with all these tripods out on the field, it's really hard for Black Hand.
It looks like both players are consolidating their forces at the bottom here for a push. They're trying to take out, I believe they're aiming towards the epic units, because they acknowledge that once they destroy both those epic units, this will basically be game. However, I don't see them having... Oh, that rage gen was nearly perfect. If he had anything to EMP it would have been great, but he doesn't.
Yeah, he needs to get out of there.
I question the use of that phase. Really, he should have been... He has the tripod numbers. He could have pushed in and just EMP'd and took out... There's actually an elite tripod there for Andre.
Oh yeah, wow, how did he get that?
I have no idea. That was... He must have gotten a lot of black shots on this Reaper tripod mask, I'm assuming. That is quite notable armor and power difference there with that tripod, as he does acknowledge it, keeping it back at home while he moves with his hexapod around the base.
The real problem here for Death Sentence is this Redeemer. That's really a big issue, because the Rage Gen can decide this game. The cultists are also a problem because of all these tripods that One Vision has. If I was One Vision, I would probably move my MCV forward if he has one, but it doesn't appear like he has one.
He actually does. One Vision just moving his MCV forward with beam cannons, which is not a bad choice versus this hexapod. However, I don't think it'll fare well versus the tripod. Reaper tripod, as they could just walk forward and really diminish this. I think he has about a dozen beam cannons at the moment. But yeah, like you said, this Redeemer is going to be a big problem. That was not a great rage.
That was not a good rage generator because of all these tripods. That Death Sentence was just waiting for that opportunity.
And now that he sees it, all these tripods are coming in, cleaning up these corruptors soon enough. But the disintegrators will play a huge factor versus these Reaper tripods. He doesn't really have an answer to
these cultists are also going to play a huge factor, because all these tripods are rushing in. This is not a good move. He needs to...
He's not pulling them back after he hypnotizes them, though. Oh, this is a huge mistake. He's getting
He needs to phase Hex. He needs to phase it. Oh, he loses it.
Yeah,
and suddenly this is... Oh, there's a heroic tripod. It's now under control of...
Oh my god.
He gets it back, though.
He gets it back. Oh, this rogue tripod.
He needs to move forward and
it's healing so fast. But he does choose to phase it.
Yeah, he should have used that phase on his
I don't
Hex.
see him beating these other 6 tripods. He's actually sending some back to get some repairs.
Yeah, that's good game right there. Well, like I said in the beginning of the game, Skrin and Black Hand, they got nothing to really kill the cultists, and that was it in that engagement. The cultists were just the deciding units. They were taking the tripods over, and that was just crippling. Yeah,
these beam cannons just not wanting to combine, even versus the Corruptor. But this Annihilator tripod for Andre here was definitely the highlight of this stream. Just how often do you see a heroic tripod?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, it's not going to be enough for Andre in this game, as he has now got to deal with 2 epic units. This is pretty much a good game. I mean, I'm surprised how quickly that game swayed. I mean, at one point it looked like that One Vision and Andre were actually winning, but now it's very much in favor of...
Yeah, at the early game, you think that Skrin and Nod would be more demanding and rushing, but they just kind of let Traveler and Reaper sit, which you never want to do in this position.
That's really powerful, that tripod. It just takes out those.
Honestly,
real
it's
easy.
on point with a epic unit. He was healing it just like it, moving around, phasing it, treating it like it. I mean, it does a considerable amount of damage. I mean, look at that.
And it's now under control of.
And it actually survives after putting the game once you hypnotize it.
So random going in favor for Spectre and Death Sentence. If they had got double steel talons, can you imagine that game ending differently? Yeah, I definitely can.
Without question.
Yeah, a bit lucky getting Traveler and Reaper. They can't really complain about that outcome, and that's going to be 1-0 to Spectre and Death Sentence.
Yes, it will be. But yeah, I think the mistake that Vision and Andre made that game is they didn't rush, even though they had good factions. Like if they would have went for a Stasis and Black Hand would have went for a Flame Tank or a Reckoner, I think they could have kept one of the either Traveler or Reaper in check the majority of the game. However, they just let Death build up this massive amount of Reaper tripods with upgrades, which Black Hand and Scrin just don't have an answer to at that point.
Yeah, I reckon One Vision should have gone infantry a lot sooner. He would have forced out a lot of gunwalkers and anti-infantry units that would have benefited Andre more, because of the tripod spam would have been great versus the gunwalkers. Infantry are really inexpensive and counter almost anything, so I'm surprised that One Vision didn't do that. Besides that, though, I think they did a good job at defending. And that last engagement was really a bit messy. I reckon that was where they lost the game there and then. They just didn't have what it took to kill those cultists off. Yeah,
absolutely. Those cultists were actually being thrown away at the early start of the game there, with the around when the beam cans were starting to get out. I was questioning the micro there him, but in the end he did make it count at the end with the tripod captures.
Right, so it looks like they're now going to pick Unsound Investment. So it is loser pick. And yeah,
we have Death a near team here with GDI, and Nod. And oh no, he's switching to Nod, which is quite good because he will be able to get access to those vertigos as well as stealth, which is pivotal in 2v2 engagements.
Yeah, that's true. Spectre and Death Sentence, Nod and GDI versus GDI and Black Hand. Oh, it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. I'd say it's definitely going to go in favor of Black Hand solely due to the ability of Black Hand to transition so quickly into infantry. That's one of the advantages of Black Hand over Nod. Nod infantry also good, but not as good as Black Hands. Anyhow, we're on the map, Unsound Investment, and in the top right-hand corner, we have playing as the green GDI, we have Death Sentence, and over to the left of him, playing as the red Nod, we have Spectre.
Alright, sliding over the top right-hand, or the bottom right-hand corner, as the blue Black Hand, we have Andre, and sliding over to the left-hand side as the purple GDI, we have One Vision.
Alright, and who is going for the spikes right now? It looks like we have Andre going for the bottom spikes. It's going to take those, and Spectre, I reckon, going to take them in the top. So yeah, interesting choice. Is any one of these players going for the middle spikes? It looks like that Vision decided to go for it. He should get it, assuming that this bunker doesn't shoot through the spike, which is a bug that happens often in case of...
He just barely nips it past the spike.
Yeah. That was he was on point there with that defensive tower, able to shoot down that engineer, and that's going to give Spectre and Death Sentence a nice little lead in this game, killing one engineer. It might not seem like much, but in these pro games, it definitely is a big deal losing engineer.
Yeah, once again, the players on the right here choosing for the Black Hand player for going for the spike, so they definitely are planning this out, since Black Hand, as you presented last setup with a Dimmy there, we're choosing that choice as well, since they can make much more notable use of those income.
We've got a lot of rushes happening right now. We got for Death Sentence, we got Orcas and Spectre going for a flame rush, so they've got some kind of rush strategy planned right now. They're going for Orca Flame Tank. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not their opponents can scout this and react accordingly. it is very hard to react to orcas on this map because both sides are required to make counters to the orcas, because you know those orcas have the ability to switch from one side to another with ease. Their terrain does not affect orcas whatsoever. Anyway, how we got the flame tank coming in right now. It's going to get spotted by this pit bull. Pit bulls are the answer to this. And
yeah,
where
One
are the
Vision
orcas
did
going?
notice it quite a bit ago with beaconing up here. If you look towards his base, you will see the beacon just coming out as the flame tank happened. But there are bikes engaging at the bottom.
There is a problem. We got the orcas though. They're looming around somewhere. I'm not sure. Oh, he's going for One Vision. He's focusing down the pits. Interesting. I would have personally gone for harvesters, but yeah, nice effort taking out those pit bulls, because he's not going to lose any orcas. He's going to lose them now though. Yeah, that was not really as clean as he would have liked. He's going to leave with one orca, going to kill just one harvester.
Yeah, he's choosing to do that, I believe, so his ally can use these bikes to the harvesters, which is actually working quite well, but the infantry will stop him. I think he might be able to sack for this. No, he doesn't quite get it to repair save.
That was
just so close.
That was so important right there, keeping that harvester alive. If that had went down, then we're looking at a really big advantage for Spectre. Spectre right now comfortably sitting on 5 harvesters. Death Sentence forced out a lot of response with those orcas.
Death Sentence actually has no answer to the spike buggy roaming into his base now, so he'll be forced to using the orcas, but they will not
the
win
orcas,
this
they are
game.
really good versus bikes. I would not be shy to engage those bikes, unless he wants them to waste a volley on the harvester before he goes in with the orcas, which he's not doing.
Oh, he's just...
What's he doing?
He's afraid of the bikes.
Alright, let's see how well he focus fires
Ooh,
here.
He's wasting a lot of shots, though. He's using 3 missiles for one bike.
If he had put those orcas on one group each, he would have been able to kill those bikes without overkill. That would have been pretty good right there.
Oh, now he's choosing to do just what you said, but it is a little too late for him to stop that. As he does get both bikes, and he actually survives. The orc does.
We got pits in the bottom left for One Vision, but they're going to get scared away by infantry. He has got nothing really to stop them in the top of the map. One Vision deciding that an upgraded power plant is more important than killing harvesters, which I mean, I can't really say if that I agree on that or not. I reckon maybe forcing the harvesters off the line for a few moments would have been more worth it. Death Sentence behind in this game economically. Those orcas, I reckon, didn't do as much damage as what they needed to get him in a reasonable position.
Yeah, if he goes for the blue tip now and gets it, I think he could come back in this game economically. However, I don't see that happening with a Andre with all these spike buggy presence on the map.
Yeah, and Death Sentence is going to thwart that attack in the top by One Vision. One Vision just forcing out a lot of units to be built instead of economy, which is going to delay Death Sentence's economy from recovering in this game. Meanwhile, we have, who's the blue again? We have Andre, who has double ref on his expansion, going double War Factory, and that's going to be quite a problem for Death Sentence, who has nothing in the way to stop those bikes right now. I reckon Andre could definitely move in right now and kill a few harvesters, which he's doing.
Yeah, you're seeing on the bottom here, Spectre is going to be garrisoning up this bunker here, which is going to be quite notable once the harvesters reach that point and be forced to clear that out with either a Grenader squad of some type. It will actually be taking a swing at these Predator Kings, scaring them off, but the engagement up here with the bikes is taking death out of this game.
He needs to watch that he doesn't splash down his own bikes, because that can happen with bike. He always going to lose one. The one harvester is alive on 1 HP.
Oh, it doesn't look like he's going to finish it up, and
oh, that was so messy. Oh my god. He's not going to get enough.
He might be able to get it if he focuses it. Maybe. Yes, if he gets one more volley. Yes, he will. No.
No.
Oh, once again.
No.
Wow. Oh, both teams making the
lucky.
same mistake. That is pivotal. That's crushing. As on the bottom here, we have all these Scorpion tanks with no answer. There's 4 Predators.
Yes, Preds, but they're not. Oh, they're afraid of this bunker right here. That's a nice bunker, like you said, that Spectre got.
Yeah, he actually has both bunkers on both sides of the Tipco, so they can't really go around the map. And taking out that War Factory is pivotal, since it's going to mean a lot to beat this Scorpion spam, which Nob relies on to take out Predator tanks. He has a flame tank in this Battle 2, which he's not utilizing. I reckon if he pushes that flame tank in, which he's doing right now, he could take out the refinery, or maybe even the MCB if he uses the scorpion tanks correctly.
Yeah, and Andre, he's going to be forced to save his ally right here, because Spectre is pretty much overwhelming One Vision. And with that said, I think this will be a 2-0 victory, because I don't see how he's going to stop this, losing this refinery. Oh,
yeah,
he's not going to lose it.
The bike buggy is coming in, but it's not. I don't think it's going to be enough to stop the scorpion tanks if he might just profit. However, he is really thinning down the scorpion tank numbers, but the losses with that, the refiner will be going down to these rocket men. I do believe it just keeps allowing it to happen, as there's no really anti-infantry coming up here, as the spike buggy is trading actually very well versus the scorpion. Shocking.
We've got triple ref for Andre. I guess he built that because of one clicks. He didn't space his refineries out to begin with, so anticipating one clicks from Spectre, gonna drop a third refinery, which is nice foresight if that's what he meant to do. But yeah, One Vision gonna hold this comfortably, but he has no expansion now. He has no refineries on that field, and it looks like we have Death Sentence poking in with some Predator tanks. Those Predator tanks are gonna trade really cost effectively versus bikes. I think Andre should have definitely used decoy right there on his bikes, and those Predator tanks would have been forced to shoot the decoys instead, saving his bikes.
Predator tanks stacking up to get a lot of splash damage. One of the Predator tanks actually getting ranked because of how cost ineffective that was for, I believe, Andre. Yeah.
Yeah, Spectre going for infantry right now. He has both the upgrades. He also has the ability to use redemption on his infantry. If he gets enough infantry, he can use that, and his his infantry will revive as awakened squads, and he can use EMP very effectively.
There's
and,
another
it's
flame
not bugged
tank
as it is
down here by Spectre coming for One Vision's base, which if he doesn't, he has shatters here, so will be caught out. Notably, Spectre and One Vision here, none of them decided to go for the blue field this whole game, as that is quite a lot of blue fields to be ignored.
Yeah, it is, but I think they've just been fighting so heavily that neither one of these players have been able to harvest that tip. They've just been forced to pull their harvesters back because of these bike buggies roaming all over the place.
At the bottom right here, Andre is actually losing refinery to that flame tank there.
We've got a refinery going to get taken out by One Vision. He does have a fence though, which might delay it from being destroyed, though this flame tank should have moved forward. Yeah, he should have moved forward and gone behind the refinery.
Definitely.
And then he would have been able to guarantee the kill on that. Redeemer coming out now for Spectre. I believe that's going to be the first epic unit out on the map.
He's also reckoning to
Andre
go for
right
a base push behind this. I do believe he has... No, he doesn't have supercharge. He doesn't get that upgrade, but he does have a upgrade. He has tip core, I believe that's what that is, and he's calling in shadow teams. I question that choice.
Spectre.
Yeah, Spectre's
well, I guess he's just so far ahead now that he has so much cash to burn that he's just going to call in shadow teams. I mean, that's fine. I mean, you can bomb some key structures like these upgraded power plants, which will make the shadow teams worth it, honestly.
Oh, definitely.
So I don't think that's a bad idea. He's moving in with his Redeemer right now. No garrisons inside of it. He's going to put one in there now, but that's not going to make much of a deal because he has...
behind it too as well. But at this point, like you said, they just have so much money. It's really... Oh, there's actually some a fully upgraded infantry at the bottom here, but there are sniper teams. If he puts those sniper teams in the garrison, I do believe they get the range bonus, do they not?
It looks like Def is pushing forward here, but he will get barely cleaned up. Andre really making a mess of that, considering how much more Tiberium he's harvested. He hasn't been able to match Death Sentence cost effectively.
Shockingly enough, that he pushed his MC forward just enough to drop that stealth tower, the disruption tower. So that is quite notable, as the sniper teams are going to be detecting the stealth, neutralizing that. But the EMP grenades coming in to shut down this Redeemer and Avatar. So a lot of action coming here at the bottom left-hand corner here. Juggernaut's now coming out to hold off this, but I just don't see him getting enough Juggernauts out to hold this. The Shatter is just sacking themselves in. They might be able to clean up one of these Spectres, but no, he pulls back, choosing to avoid that. As the Redeemer with the Flame Squad in it, acting as just a big, meaty flame tank, is going to cleaning up this base and might be able to get tier 2 as Sonic Mitters will drop, as well as Obelisks, which are quite notably good. The Shadow Team's there as well, so shutting down any... Maybe he's looking to shut down the EMP grenades with the Shadow Team, I'm not sure. However, at the top right hand corner we also have Hammerhead's infantry.
Yeah, it's looking like Death Sentence and... Well, yeah, One Vision and who's his ally again? Oh, I forgot.
Death Sentence.
They're going
Inspector.
to come out victorious. Yes. They're going to come out victorious here, and that's going to put them 2-0 ahead. I'm not sure if this is a best of 3 in the semi-finals or a best of 5. I will check that out real quick. But well played to Death Sentence and Spectre. Very interesting opening in the beginning.
Yeah, definitely. I was shocked at the comeback you can make from going 4 orcas on that field, on that map. I honestly didn't expect Death to come back from that, given that he lost so many. He lost a lot of eco time with those 4 orcas, but he only got 1 harvester, unless I'm mistaken. Oh, the semifinals is a best of 5, and the finals are a best of 7. So semi best of 5. Yeah, semi is best of 5, and finals are best of 7. I just got confirmation from Phantom himself.
Man, that's quite a best of series. I mean, it's a 2v2 tournament, and these games can go on for quite some time.
Yeah, I would have liked it to be best of 3, and best of 5. However, it is Phantom's game, so he decides these rules. Just wanting to see a lot of gameplay today, I'm assuming.
So One Vision and Andre, I'd imagine, to be quite demoralized right now after being down 2-0. They're going to have to make something happen right now. They're going to have to pull it together and try and win a game, because the way it's going, they're going to be out of it in the next game. Yeah, this is basically match point right now for Spectre and Death Sentence, so they got a lot of wiggle room.
Yeah,
though they'd want to finish it off as soon as possible to conserve energy for the finals.
Yeah, definitely. And I do see them going as GDI and Blackhand, which is quite a strong combination, if I don't say so myself.
Yeah, I don't see why both of these players are not going Blackhand. Is there a rule in place to prevent 2 players picking Blackhand or something?
I don't think so. Unless Phantom could correct me, I do believe there's no rules against that. Blackhand.
Well, regardless, the map is going to be Ice. I can't remember what it is.
Ice Arena.
On the bottom right-hand side, we have playing as the green GDI. We have Steel Talons, Death Sentence playing Steel Talons, and Spectre, his ally, playing as red Blackhand.
And over at the top left-hand corner here, as the Cyan Blue Blackhand, we have Andre, and sliding over to this left as the purple GDI, we have One Vision. As this Andre here is going to be taking both tip spikes. As the Blackhand player, he will be making most use of those.
Alright, and who's taking the tip spikes in the bottom? Are we just going to see them share the tip spikes? It looks like Spectre went for... Did they go Refinery first or something? I think they both did that. No, they both went for their own spike. Okay. Whereas in the top of the map, we can see that, like you said, we have Andre who took both of the spikes.
Yeah, shockingly enough, One Vision is ahead of everyone in terms of his build queue with War Factory and Refinery, given that he did not go for a spike himself. So he will be getting the most immediate income right away, giving that full extra blue tip, or full extra tip of Tiberium.
Yeah, that's true, and doesn't look like any one of these players is opting to go for a rush right now, looking to just play it safe. If I was Andre and his ally, who is One Vision, I would definitely be maybe putting on some pressure, taking some risks, because you're behind 2-0, so you need to play more than just conventional. You need to mix it up a bit and try and throw them off, because you're behind 2-0, so you need to really make something happen. basically, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, exactly. And Andre is choosing to play it safe here, like you said. But shockingly enough, Death Sentence expanded and then just put his construction yard back down and immediately put down a power plant, which I question that choice. That's kind of like a nod faction type expand.
Yeah, and yeah, just going to expand to their respective fields is a bit odd on this map how one side expands to the top and the one expands to the left. It's very unique in that way because there's no other map that really functions like that. It does provide some different gameplay, to say the least. And also, yeah, what else is happening right now? Just going to scout one another with their respective scouting units. Looks like One Vision going for pits.
Yeah, Spectre is actually over here going for a bike rush in the looks of it. Andre has noticed this in Beacon, showing that he takes into account this bike buggy coming.
Or maybe he's just building those bikes to counter the inevitable pits coming his way. But yeah, bikes aren't necessarily the best unit to build versus pits. Pits are going to arrive on the scene. He's going to have advanced warning with these foxholes, so he will have time to react to this with his own pits. Bikes aren't going to do nearly as much DPS as bikes, so they're going to not really kill any harvesters right here, especially Steel Talon harvesters, which have 10% more health than the rest of the harvesters in this game, besides Reaper harvesters, of course.
Yeah, quite notably, there are 3 bikes up top here, doing some damage to Andre's eco here. However, I think he will get a harvester if he focuses down and sacks these bikes for it. But there are bikes reinforcing here. He has a total of 4 bikes in the buggy, and these harvesters are just getting picked off so easily. I think he will get a second harvester if he goes in for it. Yes, he might.
Yeah, yeah, he's gonna lose 2 harvesters here, so that's pretty bad news
for that harvester.
regardless though, Andre.
Oh no, he gets.
Yeah, he's gonna lose 2. All right, well that's gonna put Andre in a very bad position, which is not good, needless to say, because he's the one who needs to be ahead in this game. Death Sentence was relatively untouched by the pit harassment of One Vision. That pit harassment didn't do anything whatsoever. Though they, One Vision, I think, did manage to take the blue Tiberium, which is pretty nice.
Yeah.
Spectre going for 2 war factories in the top of the map, going for bike, so looking to keep Andre on the back foot. And One Vision is now forced to aid his ally and send some units to him, while Death Sentence now is pretty much unopposed and is free to do whatever hell he likes. He can go for Orcas if he wants. Orcas right now would be pretty good, seeing how everyone is scattered on the map. They would do some serious damage, especially versus Black Hand, where their harvesters are not even stealth, so yeah, easy kills.
Yeah, it just looks like that damage to the economy of Andre was really just... I don't really think he has a chance of recovering. He needs to get some pressure on Death Sentence here, or possibly on Spectre, as you put it. If they do not apply this pressure, it's just going to be quite literally another steam.
Yeah, and One Vision going for infantry right now. At this stage of the game, infantry going to prove to be less effective because he's up against Steel Talons. They have one of the best anti-infantry units in the game in the form of the Wolverine. With AP ammo, that's going to just shred those infantry. So not sure if infantry was the correct move.
Yeah, he's going for the AP ammo as well as pumping up the Wolverines, as you just said right now. To defend
top of the map, we can see mass pits from Steel Talons, aka Death Sentence. But those Predator tanks mixed into the fray might be enough to hold here, though. They aren't really coordinating their defense really well. It looks like Andre isn't really there to help those tanks out so well. One Vision, he made all these infantry in anticipation of him being attacked by bikes, but he isn't, because he's up against Steel Talons for the most part. So
yeah, and the APM
I don't really agree on
not
that
quite
decision.
done. It's only about a little bit, 60% done. And I would wait to engage this infantry force, but it doesn't look like he's going to need to, as even with the composite armor, as you put, Wolverines are just very, very good versus infantry.
Yeah, and it's a tough ask for One Vision right now. If he made the barracks in Andre's base instead of moving those Preds to help Andre, he would have been doing just fine because the infantry were better suited there. That will delay his ability to go for tier 3. He needs to go tier 3 right now, go for the Marv and the Juggernauts and stuff like that, but I don't think he's going to have enough time. He's going to be forced to throw down a Sonic Emitter here. Otherwise, he's just going to lose all of his harvesters. There's nothing really to stop these pits coming in from the south from Death Sentence. And yeah, aside from a few bunkers, but those are going to take a long time to DPS down all these pits. There goes the Sonic Emitter down. How good is the shot's going to be? It doesn't get anything.
It actually misses every single one.
That's a good line right there. Oh, is he going to get it? No, he's not really focused firing with his
he
Sonic
actually
Emitter.
didn't get a single pit that time. Wow. So he's going to be
and this is looking pretty dire. Now the issue here for One Vision is that he's building a Sonic Emitter now, but he's now having to deal with hammerheads.
Yeah, these Wolverines also, if you didn't know, with APM actually do 125% damage to structures instead of the typical 100% anything else. So they are very good as they just drop a refinery.
Yeah, but it looks like Andre is going to come in to clean up, though that will leave a big gap for Spectre to come into Andre's base, though it looks like Andre has managed to recover and build it up a sizable amount of tanks. But the damage is being dealt now by Death Sentence. There is 2 harvesters there for the taking. He's going to take one out
coming in, which I guess were the counter to the hammerheads.
By who? Death Sentence. Oh no, One Vision.
Yeah, One Vision has these hammerheads, or these firehawks, which I presume were for the hammerheads, but I really think that might have been a bit of overkill.
Yeah, he's actually dropped an airfield in the back of the base. He has to clean up those pits though, otherwise his firehawks will be in danger on the deck. Speaking of firehawks, it'd be nice if Death Sentence went for them as well, because these refineries right here are for the taking.
Yeah, he also has mammoth tanks. I believe he's going for railguns now. Death Sentence. Going to be planning to steamroll this One Vision here out of this game once he gets those with railguns. But there's a big Scorp fight engagement at the top here. But he is versus Tech, and it's a bad reverse move, but they're losing about 4 or 5 Scorpion tanks due to that. Building blocking with Hand of Nod, as well as the Obelisk will fend this out, but he does have the diminishing amount of Scorpion tanks, but the Redeemer will be coming out for Spectre to contest all these Scorpion tanks. So that's this.
What Spectre needs to do right now is he needs to go for a Tib Tiberium chemical plant, because if he can try and force these tanks of Andre into the Tib field, he can get a very nice Tib vein off, and that could be all he needs to push in right now. But Andre, if he's smart, he'll know that he could be baited in, and that could happen.
Yeah, definitely. But Death Sentence here moving out with these railgun mammoth tanks at the bottom here with no adaptive armor, nor is he just about to get it, so that will be immune to EMP, as that upgrade just shows. He's actually choosing to move upwards to attack Andre from both flanks, which will absolutely knock him out of the game, acknowledging that he is the only real threat here, as One Vision is just struggling to recover, and really he doesn't have anything in the forms of units.
There is one hammerhead which is really obnoxious. So there is 2 harvesters there, which if Death Sentence is paying attention to, he will take out first. But yeah, his sights are firmly fixed on to Andre right now. And yeah, Andre, I don't think he has what it takes to really stop
this.
And
just as you said, that Tib vein coming off, just as you predicted, right on that Scorpion tank. And I believe if he rage gens now, unless he's already used it, it would be just to finish off all of these Scorpion tanks right here now. But with these mammoth tanks here, nothing to contest them. It's looking like this is going to be another victory.
Yeah, and I think Andre is going to be pushed out of the game right here. His Redeemer is coming out, and with the aid of these mammoth tanks of Death Sentence, that could actually be enough. Death Sentence should definitely build a tier 4 and use the shockwave on this Redeemer.
I would also recommend
should have had one.
Death, or not Death, but Spectre, you know he has a Tib chem plant, so he should be aiming his sights for these 2 refineries that are close together for Andre. However, I don't think he's realized it yet, too focused on the Redeemer being EMP. And that will be sniped out by this Juggernaut shell here. Yes, and it will go down.
The Redeemer does go down for Spectre. So that's a very nice pickup there for Andre.
I would not
It looks
choose
like
to engage these mana tanks with these Juggernauts and Sonic Shells as well as this Redeemer here. I think they'd be best if they pulled back or at least consolidated their forces for the next move. Nice use of adaptive armor there at the Juggernaut Shells coming down, saving them MP.
Yeah, this base push is looking like it's falling to bits right now. It looks like they will hold it. At first it didn't like it with that raise gen and the tip vein, but no, it looks like it will be enough to push back Spectre here, and Spectre doesn't have very much in the way of reinforcements to continue up this aggression. It's just mostly Death Sentence's army here. And this is going to give time for One Vision to recover and build another army. And Death Sentence now doesn't have very much to show for it. He has only got a few hammerheads and these juggernauts up in the top, which is not very much.
Yeah, I'm surprised at the lack of units and presence One Vision is having in this game. He clearly has the eco now, but I just don't see anything coming out from him except for these Firehawks, which he really hasn't.
Well, he has been supporting with these juggernauts here. He was actually key to that defense because of those juggernauts. He has the tier 4 right now, and he has Shockwave available to him, but of course Shockwave going to be useless versus these Mammoths with adaptive armor, assuming that Death Sentence acknowledges that his Mammoth tanks can be immune to EMP. One of them does get taken out. Double Obelisk drop though will take out the Juggernaut, and all of a sudden the tides have certainly changed once again, and the Redeemer gonna be coming out for Spectre.
Andre, he was relying on his Scorpion force, which he invested in. He still has Harvesters off the line due to these obelisks as well. He just basically ran out of steam. He needed One Vision to call in some more tanky, I would say, support. He only had Juggernauts and Firehawks, which really are not frontline forces, but the Juggernauts, as you know, were pivotal for taking out the Redeemer, but really there's no answer to this obelisk and base push here from Spectre.
Yeah, it's really too close to call it right now, but
all these Firehawks from Death Sense going down from by One Vision. I mean, as he stratifires out with one, as they both basically trade even. But now with
Death Sentence, yeah. I would definitely get a tier 4 for the Shockwave Artillery, because it's mostly going to come down to that. One Vision has his Shockwave, and with these Behemoths also not spread out like that, they're just going to get massacred by the
definitely
the Shockwave. As I just said, they're going to get destroyed, but the conveniently timed obelisks from Spectre going to rectify that mistake and take out these Juggernauts. So yeah, fortunately Spectre did aid his ally there. Next time.
Yeah, if you look at the bottom of the map here, he's actually using adaptive armor, and one of the Titans actually was elite from crushing Harvesters, as it just basically knocks Vision out of the game with that. It was insane seeing that happen. EMP.
Yeah, the Redeemer now is pretty much free to go on aggressive stance in this part of the map. If he so desires, I mean, he can probably go in and get a significant amount of damage done before he has to rebuild it. He has his Redeemer engineering facility still, so he can rebuild that Redeemer. I reckon it's worth suiciding it in, though. Yeah, we got Death Sentence here pushing in with more Juggernauts, and Infantry now coming into the fray.
And it definitely looks like this is going to be another game for Death Sentence and Spectre. 0.3, which is unfortunate to see, but just you can't deny that the teamwork from Death and Spectre has been on point this game. Presence of the Behemoths mixing in with the Redeemer as well as base push, and all players calling in GG. One Vision
the teamwork.
Them luck.
The teamwork was just basically better for Death Sentence and Spectre. There's no doubt about it. They did coordinate a lot better than One Vision and Andre. Yeah, so well-deserved victory to Spectre and Death Sentence, coming through with a clean 3-0 victory. And they're going to be over into the finals.
Yeah, absolutely. The resource graph was actually not too as separated as I thought, as you didn't notice any difference until the 9-minute mark. But as you said, it was just a matter of teamwork that game, which was what these 2v2s typically come down to.
True. I'm gonna restart my game real quick.
Alrighty, that's fine. I'll let you know when the game starts up. Alright, so I just got the teams. It will be Dimmy and Cold Hunger versus Death and Spectre.
Yeah, very interesting indeed. I'm gonna be very much excited to watch this, considering the players.
I'm definitely going to be leaning towards Death and Spectre might be winning this due to the teamwork I've been seeing, but Dimmy and Cold Hunger, Cold Hunger in particular, has been quite good in these 2v2s as well.
I'm sorry to break you there, but Cold Hunger will win this. He just knows everything. He's so good. He's just gonna win it. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right. Well, we definitely have MasterLeaf here picking favorites.
Absolutely, Cold Hunger. The funny thing is, he wasn't even practicing the last few days. He just rocked up and then just got to the finals of a tournament. It's just so weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I actually haven't seen his presence much, and honestly, I think this is the only time I've ever seen him in a tournament. I actually haven't heard any word on Cold Hunger at all, to be honest. I've never seen him in a tournament. Now, I've actually seen him online. So he definitely is a new player, I'm assuming?
I have no idea. I could not tell you, mate, but honestly, he plays really good for... That's all I know right now. Alright, so the first map is Tiberium Rift, I do believe. And based on Dimmy's performance, I wouldn't be surprised if he let down his teammate in this series if it were to go in Spectre and Death Sentence's way.
Yeah, I find that Dimmy in 2v2s, for as far as what I've noticed, he's really, really like decent and good in the early game. However, his late game options are just, he's not really in tune with them, I would say, as you saw him not go for tip core that last entire game.
Absolutely true. That was a critical mistake, actually, and he cannot afford to make them this time in the finals. He has to wake up and play a little bit better.
Yeah, especially with Mr. Cold Hunger here. It's not going to be allowing him to any leeway at all.
Yeah. I'm going to be very suspicious indeed if they do win this with Cold Hunger in it. Alright, so finals it is. It's going to be Spectre and Death Sentence versus Kappa XD, aka Dimitri, and Cold Hunger. Cold Hunger getting dealt Traveler 59, whereas his ally getting dealt Nod. So if we scroll over to the left of the map, we can see Death Sentence, who has maintained green, playing as the Black Hand. And over to the bottom, we can see his ally playing as the red screen. It's going to be Spectre.
Alright, sliding over in the top right hand corner as the Cyan Blue Traveler 59, we have Cold Hunger. And sliding over the bottom right hand corner as the pink Nod faction, we have Kappa XD, aka Dimitri. Or Dimmy.
All right, and it looks like we have Death Sentence opting to go for both of the spikes, whereas we have Cold Hunger who is going for them as well, not opting to go for the Descent Rush. I thought maybe he would have done that, but no, just gonna go Buzzers, and he's Traveler 59, so that's very peculiar. Meanwhile, we have, I think the other two players did in fact go for Refinery first, which is always the case if you don't go spikes, because it's silly going for Power Pump first if you're not taking, because there's no reason to build a barracks.
Yeah, definitely. I find that Cold Hunger maybe not opting to go for the Descent Rush, given the distance there is to do that. I think that the distance is too long to really make that a secure strategy, whereas I believe this map is just a little bit wider than Tiberium Forest, unless or not Tiberium Forest, but Forgotten Forest, unless I'm mistaken.
Yeah. Also, the nerf can make it a lot worse now. Previously, the synths were the best strategy for Traveler in 2v2s, but now with their nerf in R12, it's not probably the best idea. Probably best to use them more defensively nowadays in 2v2.
Yeah, but that nerf only does apply to Traveler 59, unless I'm mistaken, to the Disintegrators.
True. Anyhow, do we have a rush coming out from Death Sentence, as he is Blackhand, if I'm not mistaken? No, we're just going for Eco. And meanwhile, we have, who's purple again? It's going to be Dimitri. Going to just Eco as well. So nothing coming out of these guys. They're just going to play stock standard, going to expand, and we're going to find ourselves approaching quickly into a macro-oriented game.
Yeah, definitely. And it does look like both players are relatively even. Demi just a little bit more ahead, but it depends who expands first, as not opting to go in between both the tip fills as per last matchup we saw, where players did go in between each tip field. I'm not sure if that's a major factor to note, but it certainly is.
Well, Death Sentence is going to Eco in this game. Neither one of these players in this game looks like they want to go for the blue tip just yet. So they're just going to Eco, and yeah, it is a final, so I guess all is on the line. You gotta, I guess, playing safe is the best way forward. It does put you in a good spot if your opponent decides to go for aggression, because if you can hold it off, you're in a good spot, usually, most of the time. But yeah, there's not really much else to say right now, aside from they're all ecoing. It looks like Spectre going for some Seekers right now, possibly to secure that blue Tiberium, which is the first thing that they go for on this map, because this blue tip field will grow over time. It starts off empty, but over time it will grow. There's a Harvester there, though, coming towards it, and if Dimitri's not paying attention, he's going to lose that. I would certainly be pulling it off the line right now, as there is going to be forces rapidly growing here, and that's going to be a Harvester kill. There's literally nothing that can go in Dimi's favor here.
Yeah, definitely. And this Harvester is just barely surviving, but will go down at one more Seeker shot here. But he lost a lot of forces into that engagement. The Disintegrator is coming out without advanced articulators, and I don't think he has the state. He does, but it's not quite done yet, which is shocking.
Yeah, that Harvester going down is going to make Death Sentence and Spectre a little more comfortable in this game, knowing that they have a 1-up. So they're just going to play it safe right now and get perfect lead, which is...
Yeah, I reckon he should pull back these Seekers, as he should have took advantage of the Disintegrators not having advanced articulators, which now they do, but now he's opting to pull those back. As beacons are being placed at the top here, all these bikes coming in to take out all of Cold Hunger's Harvesters if he doesn't have an answer to this. Being forced to put a lightning spike down, which will do notable damage, but not enough for this many bike buggy, as I do believe this will be the end of the game. But no, actually those are not his bikes as well. Those are
regardless, he's taking significant damage. He's going to lose 3 to 4 Harvesters, and Death Sentence is going to pay nothing in return for it. Maybe just a few bikes, but that was pretty awful.
Yeah.
And so far, everything's going badly wrong for Dimitri and Cold Hunger. This is looking really good for Death Sentence and Spectre so far. They're in a great position in this first game.
Yeah, but you have to note that he is Traveler, so he doesn't need quite as much money as the other factions to make things work, especially with these disintegrators and possibly a hexabot coming out since he has tier 3.
I would have certainly expected more portals being thrown down by Cold Hunger, seeing how there is limited anti-infantry here for both Spectre
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Death
And that was an
Sentence.
excellent support power use right there. I do fail to remember the name of that support power, as it does prevent all these Seekers from coming in and doing damage.
Yeah, well, I guess this guy is from StarCraft 2, so he probably has a lot of experience with those sentry shields. So,
Yes, indeed.
yeah. Since chasing down these Seekers, there is buggies there, which will all dispatch them.
At the bottom left-hand corner here, we have Spectre going for his Epic unit already, as well as the bottom right here, we actually have a wormhole, or not wormhole, but a signal transmitter with a Master Prodigy coming out, which I'm assuming is going to be for a wormhole at the cap of MCV, maybe opting to go for a snipe on Spectre's MCV, which will be critical if you can get it.
Oh yeah, that's going to be pretty critical, especially as there is no
airfield, yeah.
Airfield. So if he loses that, he's pretty much out of it. He's going to have to forfeit the game, I think, to give money to Spectre if that does happen. Because,
absolutely, and I do believe that's what he's looking for. He doesn't have eyes on him just yet, as I think he's trying.
Oh wow, they're really taking the fight back. This warp chasm, though, he could have gone in and killed it. I mean, I reckon it's worth going in there, maybe losing a few units.
And as I said, the Mastermind is coming, the Prodigy is coming in. He takes the tier 3. I question that. I think he would have been better going for that drone platform, but he doesn't go for it.
Yeah, well, he's still out and about.
Would have been a better option.
He's decided to keep the Prodigy at home. Oh, that was a nice turnaround there. He was really good on the micro there. Well played to Cold Hunger. My God, that was a good response time to those buzzers. And this Prodigy is just going to wreak havoc again. It's going to kill another building. It's going to take this. There is no charged particle beams for Jeff. Oh, he's going to watch the Prodigy. He just needs to kill that tech center, and he's fine.
Oh, he goes for the teleport, but doesn't quite get it as that buzzer goes heroic. And then we do have a gravity stabilizer coming out. Foreseeing that, just taking note of that Prodigy's presence on the map.
He was ever so close in taking out that tech lab. I reckon. Yeah, that was nicely done there by
Ooh, a click actually came down on Death Sentence's refineries, taking out both of them actually, which is critical.
Oh, I got in from Dimitri, and
yes.
Tim Vane just used it. Not sure if that was intentional. Probably not.
No,
Tripods Hexbot gonna respond, but yeah, the guys with the expansions right now are Death Sentence and Spectre. They're the ones who have the middle of the map secured. So despite all this harassment, it means very little if they're...
I think he's going to look for getting MCV as he's going to run through these tripods to get, as if he does, no, he's gonna... He is...
Prodigy is back. He needs to get that drone ship.
Yeah, he can't engage.
If he just gets the drone ship, he wins.
Yeah,
I mean, looks like this is really good from Spectre. He's anticipating he's going to lose his drone ship, so he's already making another one. That's a sign of a very good player right there.
Yes, it is.
Being able to read ahead. That was very well done, by the way, by Spectre. I'm quite surprised to see him do that. Yeah, Bike's wrecking havoc at the top of the map.
Oh,
yeah,
he did actually get the MCV, and he teleported the engineer to save it from the sold-off drone ship.
Wow.
That is...
And there's Bikes at the top of the map, killing all of Death Sentence's harvesters. And I guess the Hexbot is on the way for Cold Hunger.
Wow, making it.
This game is not looking so good for Death Sentence right now. And there is no charged particle beam. There it is right there. A bit late, honestly, because that Prodigy did way too much damage. Spikes did way too much damage. And he's going to use one more harvester. Him. Now, despite this expansion, it means very little when this Prodigy is out and about. There is one refinery there, so I guess what this Prodigy has to do is just to take that, and he'll be fine in this game. Maybe he can throw down a missile battery.
What is critical to note here is that gravity stabilizer is building a drone ship. If he could somehow snipe that out in time, which I don't see happening, he could prevent them out of this game. But is another Mastermind going to be, our Prodigy going to be coming out to snipe his MCV yet again? Is what I will be wondering.
I am amazed. So going to see an expansion out of Dimitri right now. Devastator Warship coming out for...
Oh,
Great
are they
teleport to the
planning?
back.
I do believe they're planning to teleport. Oh no, they failed. If you didn't note it, Cold Hunger tried teleporting, Dimmy's MCV to the center of the map with the Prodigy, which would have been an extremely good
Oh,
play.
he just... Oh, wow, that was a nice bit of teamwork right there. He just phased both... phased, but both the F unit.
Yeah, definitely. He also
Strength.
teleported it to that spot, which is very good use of the Prodigy.
Prodigy does go down. One thing to note is that the blue field is a nice size right now, but there is 2 mecha pieces there from Spectre just to ensure that that doesn't get harvested by one of these players. Now, despite all that aggression from Dimitri and Cold Hunger, there is still an expansion for Death Sentence in the top, and that's one advantage you have to give to...
Ooh, an excellent rage in at the bottom here. The Redeemer rage in
was so good.
Yeah.
He gets all the mechas. Nicely done there.
Yeah, wiping out all those mechas with that rage in. Optimal use of it. I do believe... Is there another Prodigy on the map? No, I don't. Yes, there is. Sitting right in the back. I reckon he should build some Corruptors. He is going for some type of... I believe this could be
garrisons in this hex. There is no garrisons in it. He's going to lose it if he pushes forward. Spectre is in all kinds of trouble right now. And in the top of the map, he's got only 2 harvesters harvesting that Tiberium. So despite what it looks like up there, there's not much in the way of harvesting going on.
No, those Devastators will be taking down another refinery, it looks like. Oh no, the first refinery, that was a turn mistake. But yeah, that'll be going down. The Redeemer is at the bottom middle here next to the blue tip. Not sure what he's doing.
I really think... Oh, Prodigy! He must have bugged. It must have bugged.
Yeah, it absolutely must have bugged.
Yeah, that does happen sometimes. That's very unfortunate for Cold Hunger. He would have been able to do some significant damage there. Nice response there by Spectre, though. What Cold Hunger could have done was he could have just area mind controlled that MCV when it was packing up.
Yeah, definitely.
Spikes, though, growing in mass for Dimitri. This drone ship, though, is in jeopardy still. He needs to move this hex ball forward, though, so he can get his disc segments in range, so he can kill this drone ship faster.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got bikes falling over the place there. Oh, the refineries have gone up the top. How did that happen?
Yeah, the 2 Devastators just wiped them out, and that turret was too late to respond to it. So
the hexapod is EP.
Down.
This is massive. The drone ship does get phased, though. That was a nice phase.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
He got both the Eradicator hexapod and the thing, and he gives and he calls it. Wow.
Who is this guy? This Cold
Hunger use of the Prodigy combined with his teamwork with that stealth Redeemer was just critical. And honestly, I will not lie, MasterLeaf, I am starting to see what you mean by this Cold Hunger guy.
Yeah, speechless right now. I thought maybe it was I was just maybe dreaming or something. But yeah, he's just that good.
Damn.
What can I say? He's just that good.
That's the only word I can think of right now. Damn. So that'll be 1 point for Team 1, Dimmy and Cold Hunger, to 0 from Death Sentence and Spectre. And I do believe this is a best of 7, so we're going to be here for quite the bit.
All right, so second game it is, and they've decided to pick Suburban Arena. So Spectre and Death Sentence on the down. They're actually behind for the first time. 2 series.
Yeah,
It's
shocking.
1-0 for Dimitri and Cold Hunger. And if we go over the left-hand side, we can see playing as the red. Of course, it is Spectre. He's going to be playing as GDI. And to the bottom, we have Death Sentence, who is playing as Reaper 17. And if we scroll over to the right-hand side, who do we have playing?
On the top right-hand corner, we have Cold Hunger playing as the pink Reaper 17, and sliding over to the bottom right-hand corner as the orange Black Hand, we have Dimmy, aka Kappa XD.
All right, well, that's going to be an interesting matchup. There's no Traveler involved here, so there is one Black Hand, though, for Dimitri, and Dimitri does love his infantry spam, so it'll be interesting to see how this goes, considering how there's no... there's a GDI faction and a Squint faction. Infantry makes absolute sense here. So let's see how that goes for him. And Cold Hunger.
Yeah, absolutely looking forward of the infantry coming out here, as a lot of Cabals are actually being drafted. I would presume he'd be going for a flame tank with all these Cabal drafts, is what one would assume.
That's true. Looks like Cold Hunger just going to establish eco right now, as well as Death Sentence. So nothing again coming out from either one of these players. That War Factory is placed in a very aggressive stance, position.
Yes, as you see, Death Sentence note with the beacon there, realizing that as well.
But yeah, that's one thing. The rush distance on this map is really small.
Yeah,
I'm surprised that the last time we were casting this map that we didn't see a flame rush coming out of who was it? One Vision. Because the map distance, the rush distance is so short that you can probably get a flame tank over there in no time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah.
And even seeing this, I think the Reaper 17 player is going to have quite the trouble countering this, even though he's seen it way in advance, as these flame tanks are just going to be rolling over there. And we haven't seen a single Seeker. Yeah, there's nothing to counter this. I think you really underestimated this rush.
There's no Nod faction from Spectre, so he won't be able to support Death Sentence. Death Sentence is going to be alone trying to fend off us this flame tanks. Meanwhile, we have Cold Hunger, who's just going to casually eco in this game. Perhaps he should go for a tier 2 to support his ally with a nerve lightning spike.
And this Seeker is going to be killed by this flame tank. Actually,
that's massive.
Core and micro, and this will be.
I don't think he has enough time to get a death tank out. Oh,
I think
this
will be a quick game 2 for Death Sentence and Cold Hunger.
Yeah, just go for the War Factory, man. What's he doing?
War Factory, and that's game. Once he gets that, it's over. And he's going to lose another Seeker to this? Oh no, there's another flame tank too. Yep, and
right, just get the flame tank around the refinery, and you can get that. Come on, man, just get it around there.
He's actually force firing, and he's pulling back the Reckoner, which is a smart move at this point. But
he is going to get the refinery.
Yep, he gets the refinery, and that is going to be game. That is, I'm just calling it now. He sells the nerve center, realizing he needs money for it. I wonder if he does have the money for that. I reckon he will.
He does save the Reckoner, so he has the opportunity to put more units in that Reckoner. And this is bad for Death Sentence. Death Sentence is actually very much on the back foot now. Dimitri, he's only got 3 harvesters. I'd imagine he would have been more ahead than that.
For Cold Hunger here, as well as, yeah, he's basically the safeguard in this game. He's basically ecoing, securing the late game as Dimmy here.
If I was Dimitri, I would probably draft another tier 2, which he has done. He's going to go in and try and get one more refinery. This dev tank of Death Sentence not responding. I'm not sure if you saw that, but yeah, that's going to be massive for Dimitri. This double flame Reckoner coming into Death's base, that's going to cause even more havoc.
Honestly, I think he should deploy it right next to the drone chip and the refinery if I was him. But he might be opting to go in between both refs, thinking he can get them both, which would be a bad idea.
Bad.
Oh, he's not doing anything. What is he doing with his Reckoner? Oh, you could have had that down ages ago. He does get the deploy before the lightning spike gets a shot, which is notable to add because that is quite a bit of.
It's not the best placement either, because I'm not sure if he has enough range. Actually, he does probably have enough range.
He does, absolutely. But the building block, if he gets a building block from a Spectre, that would be pivotal. Yes, it is, and he's going to block it with that.
But it is a double flame Reckoner.
Yeah.
If Dimitri's paying attention, he should definitely focus down the buildings here. I'm not sure what he's doing.
Harvesters with the flame Reckoner. It is Oh no, he's hitting the dev tank. I didn't even see that. He's actually gonna kill the
Yeah,
dev
a bit
tank.
slow.
Right,
I'm not sure if he's going to have enough
factory.
time to
Oh
patch
my
this.
god.
Actually, yeah, he probably will.
As
Double,
he evacuates,
rank.
no, maybe. No, he doesn't
What?
quite.
Oh, that was such a cake right there. Wow, can't
Yeah.
believe that. Oh my god, look at all these dev tanks. If he has stasis shield, which he does,
Yeah,
he's gonna...
Cold Hunger is just on top of it this game. Jesus. Look at all these dev tanks. My god.
Yeah.
He doesn't even have
That's
a corruptor. He's just damage.
And this is going to be bad for Spectre.
Oh.
Is he going to trap these effectively?
If he
You can
traps
see them
these,
coming up.
oh, no, he doesn't quite trap them. And with this kiting potential here, it will just spend the death of these predator tanks.
That's very nice micro, by the way, from Cold Hunger.
Yeah.
Putting those back over there.
Absolutely. He's only lost one dev tank so far. With... Oh, no, this is just...
Oh,
the stasis comes down. Focusing down...
That was a beautiful stasis as well.
That was absolutely beautiful stasis. I think he's going to go in to finish up the rest of these pred tanks.
Now we've got infantry coming out from Dimitri.
He's charging on the tip
out
kills,
of
which
the
is
game.
notable. And this infantry coming down here, he just has no answer.
Yeah, this going for Storm Rider. Oh, he's going to spot these Storm Riders against Reaper 17.
He's actually opting to go for the drone ship. And the dev tanks are just uncontested here. Oh, but he has to watch out for those shatter shots. Those will be pivotal in this engagement. As the drone ship is going to fall for death sentence due to these infantry. As he said, he had no answer to these, and that will spell the death sentence, I believe.
Yeah, and Spectre kind of getting walked over right now, and also the surprise gravity stabilizer is also spotted. So there goes Death Sentence's opportunity to come back in a big wave with Stormers, but that's not going to happen because he's up against Reaper 17 and Dimitri of all these infantry. And yeah, this is pretty much a good game. So 2-0, surprisingly. Who would have thought for Cold Hunger and Dimitri?
Yeah, Cold Hunger definitely just showing some work here with those.
He's really on point.
Yes,
he's even going for his upgrade.
He's already gone for Reaper tripods behind this, just in case the dev tanks didn't finish the game. As if you look closely, Spectre is actually in a very good economic.
But he's losing all of his tanks to the infantry now.
I really
think
think
anyone
that
would agree on that.
should really just quit out of this game, but he's opting to go for a drone ship. I question this choice.
Yeah, and the way it's going, I can see this series definitely going for Cold Hunger and Dimitri, but anything can happen because it's only 2-0. There is always opportunities for Spectre and Death Sentence to come back, but they're going to need to play much better than this, and maybe even not go random, because random in this game did actually hurt them.
Yeah, definitely. I believe they're just quite a bit too cocky when it comes to underestimating Cold Hunger. So that's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's 2-0 for Cold Hunger and Dimitri. So Dimitri looking, is getting closer to winning his first ever tournament, I do believe. I'm not sure if he's actually won anything before.
I don't believe he has. No.
We can just, I mean, look at Cold Hunger's eco. He was the only player who was left untouched in that game, so of course he'll just come out on top and win. But yeah, nicely done by Dimitri getting Death Sentence out of the game so soon. The Flame Tanks definitely did it for him. The rush distance obviously playing a big role in that rush, working out for Dimitri.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do have Unsound Investment, I believe, as the next map, unless I am mistaken.
Right. Well, if this current trend continues, it'll be 2 more games and game over. But hopefully it doesn't end that way.
Yeah, but with the amount of pressure that Cold Hunger, Dimmy is applying and just relying on Cold Hunger to finish it up, if you haven't realized that repeating fashion, it is quite really unstoppable for Team Death and Spectre to compete with. Because
yeah, they're actually picking their factions now. I don't agree with Traveler. I think Spectre's best with Nod factions. I haven't been too impressed by his Traveler 59, so that could be a mistake. But maybe he's got something planned.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dimmy's notably strongest faction is Black Hand, bar none. Which Cold Hungers is basically anything he touches, right?
Yeah, basically, he seems to be pretty adept in all the factions, from what I can tell. But yeah, it's going to be GDI for Cold Hunger. Spectre was a bit undecided for a moment, going Scrin, but now he's actually going to go Traveler. Death Sentence Blackhand and Dimitri Blackhand, so it's going to be another game on Unsound Investment. We have, I do believe, Spectre and Death Sentence in the top of the map. All right, so in the top left-hand side of the map, we can see Spectre playing as the red Traveler 59. And over to the right, we see his teammate Death Sentence playing as the green Blackhand. They're behind 2-0, and they need to do something right now.
All right, sliding over in the bottom right-hand corner as the orange Blackhand, we have Dimmy, aka Kappa XD. And going over to the bottom left-hand corner, or bottom right-hand corner, as the purple GDI, we have Cold Hunger. Opting to go for the center spike with an NG, as Dimmy is going to be capturing the 2 spikes in the back of the base.
Yeah, Cold Hunger going to easily secure that middle spike with ease, actually.
And shockingly enough, Spectre as the Traveler 59 going for descents. And
does he have his?
No, he doesn't have a fast legs. Why?
What the hell?
Yeah.
This is not gonna go. Oh my god. Oh.
I think he made an error. I can't see this as being on purpose. I mean,
how does Cold Hunger have suspicions that he's going that way? I mean, he's sending all of his rifle squads to the bottom.
I think he's just going for the garrisons.
Yeah, but he's sending all of them back. Garrisons. Maybe he knows it's coming, but I don't know. Did he get a scout into Spectre's base to know that that's coming? That's really weird.
That is weird, actually. Why would he? Huh.
Maybe, I guess I do this sometimes myself. I expect distant rushes, so I pull back all my
yeah, but to have them squads on point, like, right there. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that is a little suspicious, is it not?
And Spectre's like, what? How does this guy know? He's even saying it in the chat, like, what? This is not really normal, man. But maybe he's just good. I mean, you can't fault him. His gameplay is good. He's not playing like a noob. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, we have a flame.
And I've seen players like Wookie Burt, for instance, who pulls back his scouts. If he's up against Traveler 59, he just pulls back the scouts because, you know, the only threat to your harvesters in the early game is disintegrators. All right, so let's see if Cold Hunger is a bit suspicious of this. It doesn't.
And double flame reckoner, might I add, as well as.
All right, well, he's just seen his descent, so there goes the surprise descent harassment. They're going to get cleaned up.
Still and, no flash legs, though. I just can't fathom why.
And yeah, Dimitri is ahead in this game quite substantially. I'm not sure what happened. What did
Ooh, he's going to get both these power plants at the bottom here with this flame. This is going to be critical.
Oh,
and a Reckoner coming in. Oh my god, he's going to get both refs. Depending on this Reckoner placement. Oh, yes. Okay, he's going to get both of these. That's going to be
I'm not sure if he can get 2 refineries, but he's definitely going to get 1.
War factory, definitely. He has 2 flames in here. That's definitely going to happen. And these pitbulls might even go down if he doesn't like them. So we'll see if he does.
Yeah, Death Sentence is getting harassed at the top of the map.
He might even get this ref, as I pointed out. Oh, if he gets this ref, that's going to be game. He can't let that
If we look in the top of the map, we can see Death Sentence is going to lose 2 harvesters. Yeah. He's going to be on 2 harvesters in the moment. He's even going to lose a 3rd harvester.
Cold Hunger just lost both his harvester, or
I think it's worth sacking all these bikes for that 1 harvester. Oh, it's actually a bit questionable, that decision now, actually. How did he lose his refinery? I'm not sure.
He lost both of his refineries and his war factory to that flame rush. So he's out of the game. I mean,
well, not really. I mean, if he has enough to get a refinery out,
he has to sell, I think. No, he doesn't even have a power plant to sell. He's stuck. If you look at his eco, he's got nothing.
We got some units coming in right now for Cold Hunger, and I mean, where's the portal? Where is the disintegrator? He needs that right now. Vector fully not in position.
If he pushes Spectre out of this game by taking out his eco, he will even the playing field here for Death and no, Death is out of this game too, isn't he? Well, he doesn't have much.
He's on 3 harvesters, so Dimitri is basically the strongest player in this game. It's up to him right now to do something. He needs to keep both players at bay.
Yeah, he needs to give Cold Hunger time to recover. If he doesn't, then Cold Hunger is just going to slowly dissipate.
There is one harvester there, which he's fixed onto.
Ooh.
But yeah, not using those spikes.
Cold Hunger is barely just relying on spike income to get this refinery out, and he does, as he just drops it as his expansion now. Should have had those harvesters moving quite a while ago.
Alright, and in the meantime, we can see Death Sentence, who is getting his economy back up. But yeah, Dimitri should definitely push into what do you call his base? Death Sentence's base, because he has literally nothing there to stop those Scorpion tanks. And he has to physically attack it right now.
Yeah, Spectre finally opting to go for fast days, which is quite late. Cold Hunger is actually making a comeback as he just dropped on his power plant in his refinery. But it's going to be
He's got 2 harvesters in the bottom, which he's forgot about, by the way.
I think he's left that there on purpose for when he expands down there, but I can't see that being intentional as well.
Alright, so yeah, it looks like Death Sentence.
Yeah,
might have been given enough time to hold this off. So this game's going to come down to whether or not he holds this.
Yeah, if he micros around this War Factor, which he's doing, he might be able to do it. The Flame Tank coming in, if he gets this War Factory, I don't think he will. He's even using the Scorpion Tank to focus down the War Factory, which is very good on him. If he gets it though, he has to commit for it. He's already done so much damage. He's the Flame Tank to push in there, yes. And boom, that goes down. He only has 1 War Factory left, and I don't think that'll be enough versus the double War Factory here of Dimitri. So
there is Dozer Blades also out for Dimitri, which is a nice advantage as well. And this Flame Tank is going to...
This Flame Tank is drawing so much fire from the Scorpion tanks, allowing Timmy to get amazing trades off with the Scorpion Fire, which is exactly how you want to use it in this non situation. And at the bottom here, we do have some Disintegrators fighting some Pred tanks, but the Riflemen and the Bunker will clean that up very quickly. As Cold Hunger, like I said, he's just making a comeback due to Dimitri doing exactly what he needs to do, holding both players off.
He needs to get some buggies or something to handle these Disintegrators. Spectre, of course, he does have Dozer Blades, so he will be able to crush these immunity.
I don't think he's acknowledging this Dozer Blade's power, but now he is, yes, as he crushes them all nearly. Ooh, so close. But that will be enough to what he needs to turn this off, I think. No, he's continuously pumping the Scorpion tanks out and some Flame tanks as well. But the Storm Column will scare that attack force away, as once again, Cold Hunger is just... I'm surprised he came back from this.
Well, he hasn't got anything as far as units is concerned, which is a problem for him, because he needs to get something out. If I was him, I'd probably go for air right now, especially because Traveler's on tier 3, and you can probably lose the game in an instant to the Prodigy, so Hammerheads is the name of the game. Going to go for Hammerheads right now.
Yeah,
and there's no expansion up for Death Sentence, so I'd say the game is reasonably balanced right now, although the tripod numbers are counting for
yeah, once
Spectre.
you get a half dozen tripods with this Devastator, I think you'll be able to just run into Cold Hunger's base and clean this up.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, Dimitri, he didn't kill off Death Sentence. He had the time, he had everything
we have
going for him. He could have just killed him.
Yeah, we have Disintegrators up here at the bottom, which might be taking out some Harvesters. No, this Hammerhead combined with this Shredder should be enough to turn that off. As we have the drone ship here expanding for Spectre, being an aggressive push. As I'm not sure what he's doing with these tripods. He's going for Dimitri at this point. So it's definitely going to be
That's actually a good idea, because to get this wing economy right now. Actually, he did just place another refinery, and the facility is just dead once the steps. And I don't think I can do to support his ally. Stating the flame rush that was done to him earlier on in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Your mic is cutting out just a bit there, in my opinion. But the tripods indeed are coming in and just wiping out this base. Like I said, once you get about a half dozen of them with this Devastator, it is just an overwhelming force for Black Hand and GDI to stop at tier 1 and 2.
True. Cold Hunger is on tier 3, but yeah, Death Sentence, he's recovering now. The Redeemer does go out. I'm surprised they allowed that to happen. That was
I
somewhat
feel
of a
like they were
mistake.
just worried about the structure. As you can tell, there's no infrastructure left. It's better to go for that. Even though he has a Redeemer, he won't have any buildings left to utilize this Redeemer. And given the tripod presence on the map, I don't think it's quite the most optimal unit to be focusing on.
No, that's true. I really don't see any outs for Cold Hunger in this game.
Yeah, Cold Hunger maybe, very good. Going for a Marv as well with these Juggernauts, but he did exactly what he needed to do, Cold Hunger, but that rush at the beginning of the game, was both refineries as well as his War Factory, was just too crippling to look past.
Yeah, and seeing those Devastator warships, I think Dimitri's going to call the GG, and I'd imagine that
Cold Hunger may call the
follow
GG.
suit
He doesn't
soon.
seem like the player to drag games out, but he may keep playing this just to extend the game, I'm assuming. Because if he would,
But it's always worth it. You know why? Because he's the opponent, and that can have more stamina. I've noticed the technique of that drags games plays in the next game. And beat him.
yeah.
So yeah, pretty strategic. They're in unleashed cases mostly.
Yeah, you're really chopping out right now. Is your mic working? Because, not gonna lie, you're losing about half of what you're saying. Just in this game, Sean.
I don't know actually. Is it still the same?
I'm actually not noticing it right now, but sometimes you can even ask the chat. It does get to where you can't hear you at times. But
Right,
what these...
I've got nothing running in the background, so I'm not entirely certain. Anyway, I'm actually recording these games anyways, so...
Oh, perfect. Well, your mic's fine now, shockingly. Just as I pointed out, but having two epic units as well as his hammerheads and juggernauts, he does look like in a pretty holding position, but I don't think he has much to answer for. He actually has an elite hammerhead. He didn't catch wind to that.
He's actually got a lot of forces, actually, the juggernauts and all.
If he gets a good raging off and takes his hexapod, he could take this game, but these beam cannons are going to be like critical. If he gets the combined on them, that's going to be crippling. But these juggernauts are going to be focusing down, not allowing them to stop, as he's going to want to get behind this infantry force rolling up here. And it does look like he's going for blue flame as well, death sentence. So that'll be very good upgrade for him to contest these juggernauts and such. But this hexapod just running in, he needs a good rage in off. I would recommend he rage in now and just focuses on this hexapod with these behemoths. I think he could take it out, but yeah, he has about 6 juggernauts here. If he just rages in now, moves in, no, but they're out of position.
Yeah, so he's getting harassed in multiple sides now. He's going to get his base slowly torn to shreds. There's literally nothing he can do to stop this. I wouldn't be surprised to see him for the GG, because that's basically it. That's going to be GG.
Definitely.
Right, so that's 2-1 in favor of Dimitri and Cold Hunger. So yeah, Spectre and Death Sentence stopping the momentum. They desperately need that, because being behind 3-0 would be absolutely devastating in a best of 7.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Well played to those guys. All right. I can't join that game, can you?
Yeah, actually I can.
Game keys disappearing when I click on it. Right, there we go.
Yeah, it's a bug when the player goes
This
dead.
is not actually a map, is it? In the map pool, I suppose it is, but Red Zone Rampage. Okay.
Just kind of stomach turn saying that, doesn't it?
Anything can happen here. Black Hand on Red Zone Rampage is very good because of the infantry rushes that they can do.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of players. A strategy that I used to do with, I believe it was with Tipsy, is one player goes pure eco, while the other one just spams war factories with GDI, and the pred spams, you can get quad war factory pred tanks going if you sell out and just give the other player infantry or eco. However, it's not very common in a 2v2 tournament at the last stage, I would say.
No, I doubt these guys have been practicing throughout the night on Red Zone Rampage. Also, I'm not entirely fine-tuned on the current Red Zone meta, so I'm not sure what's going to happen here.
Exactly. But Black Hand definitely an optimal choice as you point out to go on this map. I do question if they are going to stick with random.
Yeah, apparently Def is hosting, but they're going to have to come here. Yep, I don't suppose anyone really knows how to play Red Zone. Maybe Dimitri. I've seen Dimitri play Red Zone quite frequently, as there's never always a game for him to play when he signs on, so he just plays Red Zone.
Yeah.
So I guess he's pretty good on this map. And Cold Hunger, if he's a new player, well, I don't imagine he's a new player based on his performance now, but I guess he knows how to play Red Zone as well. So I reckon those guys have an advantage on this map.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Phantom's wondering if you saved game 1, have you?
No, I did not. I haven't been saving any game.
Yeah, neither have I. He says that the other games have been saved by someone, but the first game, unfortunately, was not saved.
So it's going to be a mirrored matchup this time. And do we have left versus right or top versus bottom? We got top versus bottom. Maybe how we got Dimitri playing as Black Hand, yellow up in the top left-hand side of Red Zone Rampage. And scrolling to the right, we can see his ally Cold Hunger playing as the blue GDI.
Scrolling down to the bottom right-hand corner as the green GDI, of course, Death Sentence. And sliding over to the bottom left-hand corner as the red Black Hand, we have Spectre. Shockingly enough, Demi went for Power Plant first, as well as Spectre, which is shocking.
It's not really, because they're Black Hands, so they have access to Cabal squads early on. So I guess they've done that just to draft Cabals. For GDI, it doesn't make any sense, but Black Hand, I guess it makes some degree of sense because they can anti-scout. And what we got happening right now, I suppose there is some cheat in store from one of these players. I would imagine that Dimitri has something up in his sleeve. Pick this map specifically.
Yeah, very aggressive War Factor placement from Spectre, as noted on the bottom left-hand corner. And as well as...
Wow, Death Sentence is going for some kind of Orca Rush.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
That could throw these guys off if they don't spot it. But yeah, the buggy, there's nothing coming into scout, so I reckon this is going to go unscouted right now.
Actually, no, there is a scout coming from Demi, which is actually going to be shooting at this.
Yeah, that's so bad.
So
Scouting that is...
Yeah, you can't really
this early on.
That Raider buggy. And there is 2 War Factory coming from Demi right now, which is going to be critical, as they do scout that as well. So, double War Factory
gonna...
versus an airfield rush is, yeah, I question air on this map since the rush distance is so short. It's too easily to clean up these orcas, to be honest.
Well, it looks like Spectre, I'm not sure what he's doing. I don't suppose he knows either. He's going for infantry now versus the 2-War Factory, and the Orca's trying to find a gap. Dimitri is out of position right now. And that's going to mean some dead harvesters.
If he gets both these harvesters, that's going to be critical, but I think he'll just get the one. No, he'll get both harvesters. Wow, that is critical in this engagement.
Something that should not have happened.
That should not have happened, seeing it that far ahead. And as you pointed out, the infantry coming out on this map is going to be crippling. And like I said in a couple of games ago, that GDI are not very good at assisting their allies since they are a very slow faction. But yeah, once this infantry upgrade comes, he can just roll through this base.
Well, there is harvesters getting dispatched.
Ooh, this Orca strike though. Ooh, takes out
effort to
almost
those
3
back.
Pitbulls. These Cabals just finishing him up.
He's gonna decide to rebuild those Orcas, which I guess is a pretty good move, as the anti-air has been pretty much cleaned up. Again, there was no need to lose those. Like he's Dimitri really not paying attention.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I pointed out, these rocket squads are going to be just crippling for Dimmy to deal with right now if he gets in close with those. He's spamming out. No, he's actually not going for more harvesters, which I can argue versus.
Yeah, and the Orca's coming in to clean up the rest of the harvesters.
We have a double A battery.
It's probably worth sacking them,
but I don't.
That's not enough. He's going to lose harvesters here. 2 harvesters going to go down. That's probably going to mean Dimmy is out this game. Hunger he hasn't got anything to actually get past himself.
Yeah, these, as you can look at the map, the Black Hand infantry is just cluttering the map, and it is at a point where it's going to get to critical mass, and it will just roll over the players.
Well, it's Dimmy's fault for going to factory here, though I think he made... it was just a mistake on his part going to that 2-War factory.
Yeah, shocking that Death was able to get that Orca rush in, and as Black Hand strength prevails here, the spreading out of this force as well as just pushing in is going to be forcing Cold Hunger here to defend this out. I think he's going to go for Hammerhead now as Orca Strike comes in to clean up. Big no, it misses the infantry. But AP ammo is done, so he will be able to hold this off just barely. Going to be not losing.
Def does snipe 2 Orcas there. Cold Hunger's Orca's not able to achieve anything. All getting disposed of, and yeah, Def Sentinel's coming in for another round of harvester killing, and yeah, he just wasted body there. He could have got 3 harvesters, but that's not really going to matter. He's just going to weaken Cold Hunger.
He just gets splash damage on it too.
He needs to really transfer his halves to the green field right now. He's not on the ball when it comes to that. Orca's going to escape. Def Sentinel's doing more damage than what he should really do with this Orca rush, because he hasn't got very much in the way of eco. He's been mostly aggressive right now, but yeah, there goes his refinery. So now he's actually looking surprisingly good. Me, Dimitri is in the worst position in this game by far.
Yeah, I would say, and Death Sense is still just making good work of these Orcas as Pitbulls are coming in to engage Riflemen with AP ammo, which is not good. The Hammerheads are just patrolling. I'm not sure why. They should be getting in there and doing some work on maybe these power plants and possibly knock the power down for Death Sense and get out of there if possible.
Yeah, well, those pits are going to get destroyed, though I think Def is quite fine sacking units given how far his team is ahead right now. I'm not sure if those Orcas were able to achieve anything. Dimmy's on tier 3 right now, so maybe he's going to go for a Redeemer or something, but Spectre's been left to do whatever the hell he wants. He's actually not on tier 3 just yet, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this game is not over yet. There is no units for Spectre's team. Spectre wasting all those infantry in Cold Hunger's AP ammo units and watchtowers was probably a mistake. That definitely turned the tide, I think.
I reckon that if Spectre just accumulated his forces and took Dimmy out of this game with all of them combined, he could have easily turned the tide of this game much sooner. However, it does look like they are both evenly matched now in terms of eco.
Yeah, what Dimmy should do is he should actually protect his ally versus these orcas, which he's not actually doing. But Spectre with these infantry going to anti-scout it the middle so that Dimmy is quite blind versus these orcas and where they're coming from.
He's going to be attacking the tip camp.
I think Dimmy is quite fine. Actually, why did he go for that? He should have gone for a Redeemer. The Redeemer would have made much more sense. But yeah, Cold Hunger, he's on tier 3 right now, so yeah, the Marv is going to be on the cards for him. And yeah, Death Sentence with all this economy, he hasn't got very much to show for it with units. Dimitri getting harassed now by some infantry on Spectre. Be able to hold that off with Shredder, especially when they're next to the main building. Hub then defended. It's easier. Yeah, the being but yeah, Spectre really needs to transition to this game. I'd help his like 8 camera watchtowers. There is one right there. Okay.
Oddly enough, your mic's cutting out in this part too as well. Shockingly came back.
And yeah, I think Jimmy's getting a bit tilted right now. They're still ahead in this game. I'd be a bit upset if I was Cold Hunter now. And he's better, but yeah, they're not actually that much far compared to Death Sentence. I mean, if he gets this Marv out and Cold Hunger, he's looking in pretty good shape. There is no epic unit from the opposing team on the way right now. Marv on this map is exceptionally good because it can just harvest all this Tiberium on the right hand side. That will get Cold Hunger's eco right back up. And as long as he can get this Marv in and maybe kill Death Sentence, he has a good shot at winning this game. He has to make something right now. Maybe go for a tier 4 for the support power. Okay. Backing this thing up there. Death Sentence paying attention. Yeah, this Marv really needs to start harvesting that field on the right hand side if Cold Hunger wishes to come back in this game in any way whatsoever. And not really much else to say. Death Sentence should be going for a tier 4 now because once he gets that, he's already building Juggernauts out, 2 Warfractor Jug, tier 4, with Spectre pretty much untouched at this point. He's going into Cold Hunger's base as much pressure as possible, get Cold Hunger, exit this game. Looking at high right now, 2.
Yeah, absolutely. And this Black Hand infantry squad with these Juggernauts is just uncontested as it just ends the battle pretty quickly. I think Dimmy is just suffering this 2v2 tournament throughout it. He's just been off his game, which is really going to be costing Cold Hunger some games.
Yeah, Cold Hunger's been on point. I can't really fault his gameplay. It's just Dimitri who's been letting him down in this game. He's just not playing that well, especially in that game where he lost the harvesters to the orcas, where he already scouted the orcas. He knew they were coming. All he had to do was just keep an eye on them.
Yeah, exactly. Just like that last game, which was on Unsound, he forgot this tip core, and then with all these other games coming past, it's just his micro has been quite off point and not as alert as it normally is, I would say.
True. So it's 2-2 apiece now. So we're looking at a minimum of 2 more games. not sure what the deal is now with Dimitri. I'm gonna have a word with him on Skype, see if I can change his mood.
Yeah, Demi is one to quite flip his mood quite easily to good to bad, as well as his gameplay. A lot of players here talking about lowering it to a best of 5, however Spectre and Death are opposed to the idea, which I fully support.
Yeah, because in a best of 1, anything can really happen. It could all come down to cheese.
Exactly, and I don't think the viewers as well as the community would like to see a best of 7 brought down to a best of 5 halfway through the game. The set, I should say. If it was decided at the beginning, I would have probably agreed to it. However, this far into the game, it would seem a bit unfair and untastely.
Well, if there ever was a rage quit, this is one of them.
Yeah, definitely. Which is unsightly to see, especially in a finals.
Yeah, I reckon it's just totally unacceptable. I mean, you accept that it's a best of 7. You go into that best of 7. You should at least finish the best of 7.
Yeah, it's.
And this is just letting down your teammate as well.
It's
Dimitri,
just letting down the community. I mean, it's just disrespectful to everyone taking part in it to wait until the final to drop out. Yeah, a lot of players talking about how he might be sick, which is unfortunate, but if he was sick, he shouldn't have been in the tournament in the first place. Should have probably gave it to another player.
to me, it really sounds like an excuse, honestly.
It is. I mean, undoubtedly, I think it is, but the fact is, you know, what can we do about it at this point?
All right, so he's telling me on Skype that he'll be 5 minutes, so I guess that's fine if he's gonna confirm that he's gonna come back and play.
Yeah, just make sure you confirm he comes back, because I would hate to keep streaming for 5 more minutes. It'd just be a silent 5 minutes and then find out, oh well, I'm not coming back. Phantom asking for a Q&A with Leaf.
What kind of questions?
I have no idea. The chat is
Chains Wrath
apparently
related,
wanting to
obviously.
ask questions. I assume. I just told him
I
to
haven't
go
actually
ahead.
seen your stream. I haven't actually seen your stream once.
Because this is the first time he's streaming a tournament, and I don't
I'm trying to
upload
log
any.
into Twitch. Got my password. Ah, fuck.
He says, "Are you into CNC 3?" Lord.
I've tried to be into CNC3. What's his name? Shock Treatment tried to get me into CNC3, but I was unable. It never really was
Settled.
attractive to me because all the players, there was no players there for me. There was not enough players for me to learn the game. I haven't given it enough chances to see if it was good or not. I'm not going to just say it's a bad game or a good game because I haven't played it enough to know that.
I will. It's a bad game. it completely.
But if it had more competition, I would have definitely played more of CNC3, or at least given it a shot.
Yeah, the CNC3 plays a lot like League of Legends today in terms of Kane's Wrath. Other games, I find that it's closest to that in terms of tactics and point and value. Have you heard of Halo Wars?
Halo Wars.
Yeah, it's an RTS.
Yeah,
it's
it's a console
like
RTS
that.
game, isn't it?
Yeah, it plays like that, to be honest. You just secure 3 points, and you just secure points the whole game. There's 3 capture points. You secure 2, you're winning. You secure 1, you're losing.
I saw Total Biscuits review of Halo Wars the other day. It looks really like a. It's got its problems, you know. I mean, the pathing looked awful.
It was. It's much worse than Kane's Wrath.
And you can't build a base. You have to rely on these hubs like Battle for Middle-earth 1. But Battle for Middle-earth 1 did actually better than that. And it just seemed like a really dumbed-down RTS game.
It is.
Obviously, it has to be for it to work on a console.
Yeah, with consoles and RTS, it's really like the most unfavorable genre at the moment. RTS, as you know, is not doing very well within the gaming community lately, in terms of general global gameplay.
True. Alright, so I think 5 minutes is up now. Where is Dimmy? If I could murder one player in the community, who would it be and why? Wow, Twitch, man. So many trolls.
Exactly. It would definitely have to be myself. After that question, of course.
Yeah, this is getting a bit boring now, waiting for players.
Yeah, and
like
you can't really just replace the player because it's already 2 in. I mean, if it was the start, I would like see how you could allow it, but for it to go 2 in and just stop is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually been up all night for about 7 hours now. It's 7 a.m. here, so it's kind of depressing on my end to see the tournament just end. But it does look like that is how it's going to play out. I mean, have you gotten any word from Demi yet?
None whatsoever.
Lovely.
Yeah, it's pretty early in the morning for Spectre as he's in the States. You're in the States as well, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm
pretty
in
sure.
Southern California, so US.
So it's a bit earlier than Central European time.
Mm-hmm.
Dimmy can't finish the event. All right, well that's basically what I thought to begin with.
Yeah, so.
So I guess the series goes to Spectre and Death Sentence.
Yes, it does. And
really quite undecided. 2-2 for both players. It started off well, but yeah, things happen.
Yeah.
If he doesn't, you can't force him to come back online, so that's just how it is. And
Yeah.
we're not going to pull an Inca and get someone to play a tournament who's already out of the tournament.
Yeah, exactly. As well as it's already 2 a.m., so it'd be unfair for the opposing team to have to deal with that. So I guess that's the end of the first R12 2v2 tournament. What a shocking
ended
end.
quite abruptly, but yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, I guess I'll just go and eat some food right now.
Well, I would like to thank you, MasterLeaf, for joining us for this stream, as well as the rest of the community.
It's been a pleasure, actually. I enjoyed it up until the very end, of course, but these things happen, you know.
Yep. There's nothing you can do about it. The most common problem in RTS genre, the rage quit.
Yeah, well, in Kane's Wrath anyway. Not sure about any other game, but it's more prevalent in this game. Anyhow, I've enjoyed casting today with you, and again, maybe I'll do it in the future with you. I'll be up for it. All right,
Sounds great.
So I'm out. See ya.
All right, later, MasterLeaf. Alright, and as MasterLeaf departs, I would like to thank all the viewers in this channel to hit that follow button. Then I'll be streaming only Kane's Wrath on this channel from now on. So if you would like to keep with that and stay in alert, we have tournaments as well as my own personal cast. I do cast mostly on weekends, Friday, Saturday, and sometimes Sunday. Ever so often I do weekdays, but not often. As you can catch me in the game replays channel at the top right hand corner where it'll say live cast. So yeah. And of course I did shout out MasterLeaf for casting as I assume everyone here knows who MasterLeaf is. Giving his YouTube channel, which I will shout out always, MasterLeaf. You can find him on YouTube. He does not have a Twitch that he is active on, but he does have a Twitch account. He also is also located on Game Replays, which you can find him pretty active there as well. But yeah, that's a decent game. The other games are great, I must add. So yeah, I think I'll end the stream there. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and I will see you all in the next Kane's Wrath tournament, or FPV if you want to join me. Later.